Yo, what are you doing right now?
The big V. Look, man.
All right, man. Let's just jump right into this shit.
I made my wife wake up and drive me there anyway.
You...
It's a major.
Pasar con eso. Pasar con español.
¿Qué pasó, papá? ¿Cómo estás? Any questions?
Now, when you bought that sweater, right? You just go, fuck it. I'm going full Mr. Rogers. You've tuned into the Man Chatter podcast.
Oh, wait.
And we are live just when Steven gets up to go grab whatever the hell he went up to get grabbed.
All right, man.
Honestly,
I'm just putting some background decoration here.
You don't need the background decoration. You're outside right now.
I know.
And that's how we start.
yo, there's
the
like
show.
once. Yeah, let's fuck it. Let's roll. There's like one star right behind him. Might be a UFO because this shit is mad bright, son.
Right.
Like over your right shoulder. Yeah, look at those bald spots, though. Let's take a second and just like appreciate those.
Wow.
Listen, I got them up here, bro. I know the.
I should have shaved my head before.
That's all good, man. Obviously, this man needs no introduction. This beautiful ginger soul here has been on the podcast many a times. He is top 5 in cousins. This is really good. It goes Josh, you, right?
I'll take it. Your favorite cousin. Shout out to Josh.
Hey, you might want to move over there to. I don't know if your view is inverted, but wherever that left, the green hand is over there, that's where you want to move towards because you're about to fall off the screen. There you go. Just move your chair and shift it over.
How's
There
that?
you go.
I feel like all you
How's that
did
look?
was get closer to the camera, but didn't really move to that side. Like all you did was
Probably.
move up.
That's fair. That's fair.
It's
Got a
up to the
table.
side.
I got
I'm
a
pretty
table.
sure all you gotta do is just like move the laptop then, or if that's what you're using. So now I see half of your face. Okay, I guess that's better. Jesus,
Well, then I'm gonna have to move the table.
what you're on
That'll
the
work.
laptop, right?
Yes.
So
At the
why
edge
don't
of
you
the
just- Why don't you just
Angle
rotate the laptop?
the
Like just
rotate the laptop, bro. Rotate it. See, he's even doing it for you. Just rotate it. Just
How's that?
I'm gonna just cut your feed, man. I think. And we're having technical difficulties, everyone. Steve just dropped off. We'll just do the rest of the show without him.
Finally. I thought I was gonna have to get stuck here for 2 hours with you.
And just wait for him to say something racist.
yeah, just like his wife knew he would say. Rotate it the other way. I'm
It
assuming, right,
really
John?
is worse now, Steve. I'm for real. Okay, good. There.
Well,
Yeah, that's good.
So, I'm sorry, Ben. You were doing the intro. Steve, number 5 or top 5 in cousins, also known as
Yeah.
John Jones Brown Noser, also known as
Yeah.
can't take his set out of John Jones's ass, also known as
Damn.
when can I lick it again,
Keep
sir?
going.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Damn.
better
Sir.
that than being a Bellator fan, John. So, I mean, you like
I
all
mean,
the
yeah, you're right. But if Bellator puts up fights, I'll watch it. Although I think they canceled pretty much everything, right?
At this point, I will watch 2 apes going at it and bet $50 on one of them.
My
Yeah,
money's
I
on the
was
bigger
watching
eight.
that. I was watching that video that Ben. I think it was Ben that put it up. That orangutan and some fucking whatever, and that dude was just.
That's what he does.
Catch these ants.
Yeah.
Mad.
Real though.
If that ain't Ben when he hasn't had his chocolate, boy.
Yo, boy, that's me, son. That is me all day. But yeah, man, the man needs no introduction, man. You already know we've been actually going at this shit for like 48 minutes. We just hit live a little while ago because you know what it is, man. But the man is Robert Steven Diaz, my 8th favorite cousin. I just moved you down just because I felt like it. I mean, there's 37 of us, bro. You're still in the top 10, so that's good. Right?
And Josh is like first 7. So I mean,
Yeah, Josh the first 7. But hey, man. So what's going on with you, bro? How are you? Last time we had you on, you were on with Chris. how are the last, I think, 2 weeks been with this whole quarantine with the kids, and how are you keeping sane, my brother?
I don't actually. I watch the podcast mostly.
Yeah.
That brings me tons of joy, even though I kind of wish your co-host would just go.
And that's why it brings them joy.
And the thought of him being gone keeps me around. So hopefully, we can push him out. Hopefully, get Brendan Schaub in here because he's not
Yes, sir.
doing much. So, I mean, we can get somebody in here.
I spent
Somebody.
half the podcast troubleshooting technical issues and your shit talking
Yeah.
on Facebook. Pretty much. That's what my time on the podcast is.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's because you're on your 7th Tennessee whiskey over here. So, shout out to Jack Daniels, always
Yeah.
making that tum tum feel nice and warm.
Yes. Yes,
So,
I'm feeling nice.
I mean, kids school. I'm not a teacher. Most parents will tell you, yes, I am here 100% for my child's education, and it's exhausting, man. I'm not a teacher. I didn't ask for this. I don't want this. It takes the 9-year-old 47 minutes to finish one paper that should really just take 3.5 minutes. So he's behind. The other one tells me no.
The way he said it.
So he's behind. Fuck it.
His soul broke as he said it. You felt that shit. He's behind. Just
He's
so
behind. The
He's
15-year-old,
repeating his grade.
he'll do this for like about 3 hours and say he's done for the day, and I have no way to even check whether he's done everything or he's full of shit. So
yeah.
he could be behind too. But I mean, hey, the 2-year-old said turtle yesterday, so that's good. That's
That's a step in the right direction.
yeah. I mean, he brings me his own diapers and wipes when he shits his diaper now, so that's also a plus.
That's good.
Apparently, I'm not getting up in time.
Yeah, definitely not. He's behind.
still
Shout
a lot of
out to
work.
that, though.
It's a lot of work forgetting how to make drinks. On a positive note, though, when the kids go to bed around 9 o'clock, I do put on this game that I've been playing called Ancestors. Human Odyssey. And it's a monkey game that you start at the beginning of civilization, and you teach yourself how to hold things, how to craft things, and it's a lot of fun.
What is that on? Is it on PS4, Xbox, or?
It's both.
Okay.
You pretty much start off just the way you were born, Ben, on the top of a mountain somewhere in the jungle. And
That's right.
and for those of you that don't know the story, fuck you for not watching this podcast when I said it.
That's right.
That's right.
But yeah, you pretty much you gotta like relocate places. You gotta. It's like an evolutionary feat where you go like 1,000,000 years, and what can you learn in those 1,000,000 years, and whether you progress like normal science has shown, or
Oh shit.
yeah. So I mean, it's lots of fun. There's, you could craft a rock. You get a rock and a stick, and you make it sharp, and you stab warthogs and hippos and all kinds of shit. Because nobody leaves you alone in that game, and it's fun. It's a fun game. It's how you kill countless hours when you don't want to do anything else but just sit there.
Yeah.
So what
What's it
have you
called?
made it up to?
Ancestors?
It's called Ancestors, the Human Odyssey, the Humankind Odyssey.
I'm gonna get that shit.
It's good. Hey, girl. I got somebody dancing in the window in front of me. Excuse me. I always got people look and go, "You're thicker than a bowl of oatmeal."
John asked you what level, like where are you at in the world? Like it's not. I'm guessing it's not levels, right? I'm assuming it's like years.
Yeah, it's years. So, you have babies. Each mother can breed, and you can't have. Obviously, you can't. First you have to groom. You can't groom somebody who's family related to you. So, these things will die. If you jump out of a tree high enough, you can die. You can break your legs. You got to find things to heal yourself. So if you die, that ape is gone forever. So, you can lose babies, you can lose elders. So I've gone around 3-4 generations already, just to keep it up. And But the game is it doesn't give you any instruction really. It gives you very little instruction on what you need to do. You just have to figure it out on your own. And that, I mean, if you're into that kind of challenge, it makes it a really good game.
Kind of like the real world, huh?
Yes, there's no book on it.
I'm surprised you're still alive though, in the real world, not in the game. I don't know how you made it this far.
So I've been quarantining for the last 15 years just to make it. So I do try not to leave the house much, and so far it does me well.
Yeah, no, definitely. I've been watching Netflix, bro. I've been binging. We're binging Waco right now. I'm gonna check out a platform that John recommended to me. I know it's a movie. I heard it's fucking. It looks fucking crazy, bro.
Netflix.
John, yeah, it's on Netflix. John, tell us again what it's about, man.
Sick as fuck.
Without spoiling.
I don't know how to speak. I don't know how to speak right now. I've been drinking too much. Actually, no, I'm only halfway through my first one. It's a Spanish movie, so by the way, it's all in Spanish. So you got to read the subtitles.
But like Money Heist, right? Like Money Heist is all in Spanish.
Like Money Heist, which I just started watching. I'm on like episode 3, and that shit is, I don't know why I put it off this long. It's really good.
Well,
I've heard it.
Money Heist is that I enjoyed the first season. It was like beyond amazing, and I loved every second of the first season. And when I waited, I didn't know that it was going to come back. I thought it was a limited series, and then when I came back for the second season, it bored me, and I was like, and I haven't even watched the second season yet. So maybe I just got to give it a shot. I did the same thing with Handmaid's Tale. I mean, I know that not many men are going to be talking about how great Handmaid's Tale is, but still, hands down, one of the greatest shows of all time.
Yeah.
We're gonna discuss that.
Abbey.
What?
Tell me about Downton Abbey.
Downton Abbey. I never had H2O. Where did that play?
Did you say
PBS.
H2O? What?
I don't have PBS.
Everybody has PBS. It's literally called Public Broadcasting System.
I pay extra
right?
not to have that poor people shit on my TV.
Dude,
Well,
look
John,
at your
back
beard. You look like you haven't fucking seen a razor in about 2.5 years. What are you talking about, poor
I
people
have.
shit?
What do you think? You think that I could just grow this shit out in a month? No, this took 2.5 years to grow.
Actually, that's terrible that it takes you 2.5 years to grow that out. That's pathetic.
You think I don't know that? Yeah, it sucks. I know.
It's pretty.
Can't have it all.
But let's get back to the platform, right? I think you've done enough talking for the show. The platform is a Spanish movie, and people are mostly going there voluntarily, and it's a prison, and it's got multiple levels. You don't know how many. You find out once you get into it, but essentially let's say it's 100 levels to start, and you're there with another. You have one other roommate, and every month they drug you. So like on the 30th day, this prison, they'll put a gas on your level, and you fucking get knocked out, and then the guards move you to another level. And so essentially it's level 0 to who knows how many. And there's a platform that just comes down the middle of this prison. It's just they feed you, right? So the people on the top floors, the platform is full of food. The people on the top floors can eat whatever the fuck they want. But once they get down to the bottom floor, there ain't shit there. Maybe all there is shit actually to eat. Who knows?
Kind of reminds you of college, doesn't it?
It kind of reminds you of capitalism. Those at the top get whatever they want, and I think when I saw the movie, that's what it was, right? Like the filmmakers, whether they're socialist or whatever or not, I think that's what the message is. It's like those at the top get to choose whatever it is they want, and then those at the bottom get the scraps, and they get screwed. And I didn't watch it for the message. I saw it because it's sick, and I saw it with my 11-year-old at that. It was a rough movie. But then I recall I was watching those fucking movies with my grandmother when I was 11 years old anyway, so he'll be all right. He can
Yeah.
You should really watch what you say about capitalism. Because I'm 100% certain that you got your $1,200 check that should last you about 4 to 5 months. So you shouldn't be complaining. Great nation.
I'm just telling
Good
you
old
what the
socialism.
director's message was. I didn't say anything for or against capitalism. I haven't drank that much yet. I need a second glass for that.
You need a second glass to
I
get on
can't
that
complain,
tirade.
man. Capitalism has put me where I'm at now. The unfortunate part is that it puts other people where they're at, and they're not so fortunate. They're on the outside looking in.
They're stuck
So,
there. Yeah, word. I'm about to check out the platform, but I've been watching I've been watching Waco, man.
Don't
Like,
eat, dude.
Waco.
Don't eat before you watch the
Huh?
platform. No.
What is this?
Is that crazy?
Centipede?
Huh?
I feel like I'm about to watch a prison version of Human Centipede.
Have you seen Human Centipede?
Yeah,
There's
maybe.
shit.
Yeah,
There's just
it's
shit
rough.
everywhere.
It's rough.
Oh,
I
shit.
mean, for me, it
I don't know if I
isn't.
wanna watch.
I don't have a weak stomach or whatever.
No.
But I don't know about you guys or your spouses or whomever you're gonna watch this movie with.
You just have a weak
Yeah, it's
immune.
probably. Yeah, I'd probably be one I have to
Weak
watch on
immune
my own.
system. Look, dude,
Yeah.
I'm whiter than you, but you look like you're fucking like you said. I caught the AIDS or I was the AIDS of the podcast, but look at you. Like, how long have you really had the HIV? Tell me, for real.
As long as you gave it to me, motherfucker.
Because you got, I mean, I know that shirt is covering up all those lesions. I get it, you know.
Freckles, man.
At this point, you could have taken Tom Hanks' part in Philadelphia for sure.
Wait, does that make me Denzel? Yo, because I'll be Denzel, son. I'll be Denzel.
Too ugly to be Denzel.
King Kong ain't got shit on me.
Great movie.
Great fucking movie. Philadelphia's the shit. But yeah, dude, Waco's crazy. Like, you guys know the story of Waco, right? It's not a spoiler alert if it happened 27 years ago.
No, it's
Right?
not.
Like, okay, so we can talk about this shit. Like,
Yeah.
I know like what happened, and I know the story that was portrayed in the news, right? But what's interesting about this show is that they almost like consolidated two books. One from the Negotiator, right? David Nesner, which is a character in the series, and this guy named David Thibodeau, which was a survivor from Waco, right? From inside the commune or whatever, the cult. Remember they were called like the Branch Davidians, and I think it's cool because it gives because there's those two books that they look at, that the writers look at, it kind of gives both sides truthfully. You know what I mean? Like as true as like they can make it on TV, because it's still television. They're gonna embellish and make shit up the whole way. But it's just a really good show. It's crazy. Because you like at the beginning you're like, yo, fuck these people. But then right now I'm like I think I'm like in the middle, somewhere like episode 4 or 5. Right now I'm like, yo, fuck both of these people. Like you can see like it's so murky where like you don't know, you honestly don't know which side to go on in a sense as of right now, like where I'm at in the series. But it's definitely not like, and it's crazy is like they reshoot a lot of like the videos, because there's videos on YouTube where you can find like the David Koresh shit where like he's doing his testimonials and all of that other shit. You can find like the real footage of it. So it's crazy. So we're gonna watch that after we get done with the series. But yo, this shit is really good, bro. I highly recommend it. It's got Michael Shannon, which is a fucking serious actor, and Taylor Kitsch, which is the guy from Friday Night Lights. If you ever seen Friday Night Lights, he's the one that plays Riggins. Well, Steven doesn't watch any like sports or TV sports, so he's pointless in this conversation. But we'll do this it's a really good show.
I don't get it.
Because that's the only
Because he's
sport I
fine.
watch.
That's it. Just you on. Like he'll text me after every game, bro. What the fuck? I know, bro. We lost again. I know we lost again.
How are we 0-3? There's not even that many games.
Yeah, there's nothing fucking going on. But yeah, dude, that shit is. If you haven't, have you watched it, John?
No,
Waco?
I haven't. No.
I think you can watch it because it's like network TV, so nothing crazy happens, and it's got the blonde chick from Ozark in it too.
The mom.
Yeah.
Another
Molly,
show I
right?
can start watching. I saw an episode,
yeah,
but I haven't. Yeah.
I did the same thing. I did the same thing. Yeah, I did the same thing Steven did with Ozark that Steven did with Handmaids with what was it with Money Heist, where like the first season I fucking flew through that shit. Second season I was like episode 2 I was like nah, okay. Like for some reason I just kind of lost interest. Like Handmaid's Tale, same, like I got tired. Like I guess I can't say spoiler because I'm thinking it's like season 2 or whatever. I just got tired of like the main chick kept doing the same dumb shit, bro. Like just kept making every wrong decision. You know, I'm like, all right, bro. Like at some point you got to be the bad bitch. You can't just always be the dumb bitch.
Well,
You
and
gotta figure this out.
you left off on season 2 of Handmaids then.
The one where what I think that's the season where she's about to leave, but then she decides not to. Was that it?
That's season 2. So
Yeah.
So peep this out. So Handmaids, I watched religiously seasons 1 and 2. Binged them both. Then season 3 came out, and I did the same thing. I watched 2 episodes, and I was like, this ain't it, Chief. So I stopped watching it. I finished. I started watching It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and you can't binge watch that show because everything is depressing. So it's almost like watching Black Mirror, where you're just like, I can't do this shit no more. So no matter how funny it is, it's fucked up. So I started watching Handmaids about 3 weeks ago. I got through season 3, episode 3 and 4, and I was like, all right, this is good. And I binged it, and it's actually the best season that I've seen so far. So season 3 is definitely. Season 2 was a little but season 3 definitely redeemed itself to even kick season 1's ass.
John, have you seen Handmaids? Don't worry, guys, bro. Don't.
Why is he?
I don't know what the fuck he's doing.
Really?
This is some weird.
Why is he trying to do the smolder right now? What are you doing? Don't make that fucking face at 2 other men.
Hold on. Let me give you my Magnum face. What is the what's that dude's name?
You're talking about
Ben Stiller.
Ben Stiller.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Oh, Zoolander.
Yeah, going Zoolander on it.
Magnum face. Blue Steel.
Blue Steel.
Steel.
Is that it? Was that it?
I don't know. They both look the same.
Okay.
It's the same fucking face.
Same fucking face. Nah, dude, Handmaids is good though. Handmaids is really good. Like it's a lot of similar to what you say with the platform. Like it's a lot of commentary on politics and shit now. It's interesting. Like the first season's amazing.
Yep.
Second season's good, but it's like second season's really good. I just lost it where she just chose not to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like, bro, what the fuck, bro?
Well, you also have to take into account that they just can't end the show right there, so they got to milk it.
No, I know.
Yeah.
No, but I was hoping that like she came back and was like the Joan of Arc or some shit, and like talked about her experience because she was a handmaid. You know what I mean? And like talked about things like retroactively and like talked about it. I get why they did that. I get it, right? But it was just like, then why try to escape? Then just stay the fuck home and stop trying to rebel.
Yeah, season 3 definitely redeems that as it's just straight perfection.
Shout out to Yvonne Strahovski, the blonde chick from Dexter. Shout out to her. Just want to give her a shout out, just in general.
Oh, I was like, what does she have to do with anything?
She's the blonde chick. She plays was it like Alfred's? What is it that they call like the mother, the wife?
Does Melanie know that you're giving a shout out to white blonde women for no reason whatsoever, just because they're white blonde women?
I need to
shout out to this white girl.
No, yo, she was on one of my favorite shows of all time. It was on NBC called Chuck. So anytime,
I remember that.
Yeah. So she was on that.
Though.
So and like even Zachary Levi, bro, like the motherfucker who played Chuck. Like I'm just a fan of those people. Zachary Levi's I feel bad for him because he looks very similar to John Krasinski, right? So he can't. They probably go for the same roles.
But he ended up being what's his name? What's the fucking comic book movie? Shazam, right?
Yeah.
Shazam
John
or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah, but John Krasinski's Jack Ryan, son.
Yeah,
you're right. Okay, fine, but still, I mean,
you know,
he got something. He's done something since Chuck.
You know what kind of person watches Shazam and goes, "Damn, that was a great movie"?
John.
My cousin Joshua Pastor.
Hey, that's great company. Wait, are we talking? Wait, which? I don't even know the fucking names anymore. Shazam, one's with Shaq, and one is with the dude that looks like John Krasinski.
Shazam!
Kazam is the one with Shaq.
Yeah.
Kazam is the one with Shaq. Shazam is the comic book character where he's a kid that says Shazam and then turns into like an older white dude.
He got paid. But how hilarious is it that his superhero outfit is definitely like, it's obvious that it's just bought at Walmart. You know, those, it makes it look like he's bigger, right? It's not even, they don't even try. I mean, that's the funny part of it.
Yeah, it's almost like a superhero spoof movie. You remember like the scary movies, when that's what Shazam felt like. Shazam felt like a scary movie version of comic book hero movies.
What's the name of that movie from the 90s that he was Blank Man?
Black
Like-
Man, yeah, with
Yes.
for sure. That's what I was
Damon
thinking.
Wayans, and David Allen Greer. That was
Yeah.
my shit, son.
Black
Yes.
Man.
That's still a good movie. That's,
With Robin Givens, boy.
what a good. They don't make them like that anymore.
Yo, how about? Did you guys ever see Metro Man?
Nope.
What does that sound familiar?
That's the one with.
The
Is that
band
the
that
one where is that the one where Benjamin like? Is that the one where you like fucking do your eyebrows and shit and you come out as a Metro sexual?
Yeah.
that's when
Metro
you
Man.
that's when you used to
Like-
use eyeliner and listen to Metro Station. Something completely different.
Metro Man was this dumbass crazy movie called that with Robert Townsend that like a meteor hit him and he absorbed the meteor's powers. It was just the most outlandish fucking WB movie of all time. But it was kind of like that.
Shout out to Josh.
Shout out to my brother.
Oh
Shout
man.
out to my brother Josh. He'll kill us both. Motherfucker will kill us both, and he knows how to get rid of us with no paper trail.
Yeah, he probably
Watch.
sees me at that level 3 rock climbing shit.
Look, right now
Yeah,
he's spying on our shit. We're not even live, and he's spying on our fucking video. And he's like, "Hey, get the drones ready."
We're gonna
Hey, Josh, I didn't say shit about you. By the way, nothing
Yeah.
bad.
him and I are
Nothing bad.
always going back and forth about how DC sucks, and he loves it. And he's like, "You fucking bastard! Watch what you say."
The DC cartoons are fire, though. I'll say that.
Oh yeah,
The DC cartoon movies are really good, but the movies are fucking terrible, man.
unless it was the Joker. The last Joker that came out was shit. I never thought that I was ever gonna say somebody was gonna do the Dark Knight better than Heath Ledger, but I mean, Joaquin Phoenix
Oh, I
killed it.
haven't seen that one yet. I mean,
still haven't seen
I've
Joker.
heard all the good shit, but I've been wanting to watch it. No, I saw all the trailers and I was like, I gotta watch that because, like I said, I saw Heath Ledger do it. You know, that shit led him to, you know, he ended up killing himself. But the trailers for this one with Joaquin Phoenix, yeah, it looks.
It is. I'm gonna give it 10 out of 10 best DC movie that's ever come out of all time, hands down. It's like no. The movie is so good that when the movie ends, you're pissed that it had to end, and you just want more. Yeah,
You
10
know
out
what's
of
crazy
10?
about that?
10 out of
10,
10.
all right, 10 out of 10.
Jared
Hold
Leto.
on, wait.
pissed off.
Let me get no. Jared Leto was fucking trash. Let me
Better
get
than
some
Suicide
kind of
Squad?
understanding.
Yeah, he was pissed that he wasn't in the movie.
John, don't say. Listen, that movie is not to be spoken on this podcast.
I
We're
know,
not
that's
talking
why I
about
said
that
it.
I've never seen
movie.
it.
Terrible.
I didn't even give it a time.
Let me understand a little bit of your reference. What other movies do you have on your 10 out of 10 list? I want to get like a scale of what other movies you rate a 10.
So when I say 10 out of 10, I said 10 out of 10 out of all the DC movies. Like out of all the DC movies to come out, this is hands down
okay.
the best one. Yeah. I don't think I watch enough movies. We could talk about shows all day long, but movies I'm not. I mean, shit, in high school, my favorite movie was 8 Mile, for God's sakes.
That's true. That's terrible.
Nothing wrong with that movie.
Son.
Nothing wrong with that movie.
Actually, there's everything wrong with that movie. If you go
Nothing
back and
wrong
watch
with
it, how bad Mekhi Phifer's fucking dreads
did.
were.
I did
That's-
go back. It was terrible dreads. Nothing wrong with that movie.
No,
And you know what? I
Yeah.
just go back. I just go watch like the 12-minute clips of fucking Eminem doing his freestyle.
the
I
battle,
think
man.
that's pretty much what I watch.
Yeah, that was a good
You know
part.
what I would watch every day for like, I think when the movie came out, every day for like 3-4 weeks was like the added footage, like the bonus footage that showed up on YouTube where like he battled other people, and they did like a whole like a competition for them to be able to get on the movie and like battle Eminem, and like he lost his voice. That like behind the scenes shit was crazy.
Yeah,
And he
that
battled
was-
like 3 random people, and he destroyed them. Obviously, it's Eminem.
I mean, I haven't seen a lot of movies today that I can actually call 10 out of 10. But I mean, if your boy Danny is watching this, Frozen 2 is definitely one of them. Way better than Frozen 1.
What you just said?
What?
I didn't.
Frozen.
Frozen 1 and 2 are overrated as fuck to me. How about that?
I never
Yeah,
saw
I
Frozen 1,
said it.
but
Hey, I don't watch a lot of these new movies, man. I'm still running with The Lion King all day,
Yeah.
every day.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was
Yeah.
gonna say. Like, if I was to pull out 10 out of 10 movies, I know that The Godfather would definitely be in them. God,
Goodfellas. Would you give Goodfellas?
Goodfellas, good, great,
Yeah.
great fellas.
Fellas, that was fucking lame.
Great
Bro.
fellas.
That's terrible. Fucking ginger.
Fucking terrible pun.
Yeah, I don't watch enough movies. I mean, I watch them, I just don't remember them.
Gladiator.
Yep.
Ooh, Gladiator.
Good one, John.
I would. It's not really
Solid.
modern, but I mean, it's modern enough when because you're going back to fucking Godfather and Goodfellas. So
Silence of the Lambs. You know,
Yeah.
these are like
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I mean, you are
but that's classic,
putting the
though.
lotion on its skin, right? That's you. It puts the lotion
That's
on
you.
its skin. No wonder you like that.
You are
fucking movie.
Buffalo.
when you fuck
You
me.
are, you are absolutely Buffalo Bill, right? I guess you're absolutely
sure.
Buffalo Bill.
Oh man,
You know what I mean?
I was gonna play
Hey,
good.
when the
Horses.
show's over,
Put it down.
that one person he was like, "Hey, girl, he's going over there. He's gonna slice her up, wear her fucking skin for
That's my own
pajamas
wife,
tonight."
man.
That would be his wife, and I'm gonna tell you right now, John, she would cut him up.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. No, then I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
She's the one
All
that
right.
kept him from buying a light, right?
Yeah.
What
She
like?
said, "You're allowed to have a light now. Let's go to Walmart and get you something. You need to look decent."
She's like, I feel sorry
All right,
for you.
I got a real fucking question for you fucks. Top 5 TV shows, drama, right? Because I know it all falls into the thing. Drama
Cake,
of all time.
cake. Go
Of
ahead,
all
John.
time. Go ahead, Johnny boy.
Drama?
I'm writing this shit down, son.
God, of all time.
Yeah, bitch, that's what I said.
You
I
want
know
me
I
to
put
go?
you on the spot.
TV
You should know. You
shows?
should know what it is.
I'm just fucking
Yes.
stalling. That's why I keep repeating the words that you just said out of order. We'll say Criminal Minds. These are all gonna be like criminal/procedural shows because that's what I end up watching.
Is that your number 5?
I'm just gonna give you. I'll just give you five of them, and then we'll figure out the order. Law and
Okay.
Order SVU, all 5,000 seasons.
Solid.
Solid. Shit. I haven't even. I don't watch that much TV. Yeah, right. I do.
Fucking liar.
I've watched so much TV that I can't remember the fucking shows. That's what it is. Law and Order, Criminal Intent, which is dark as shit, with Vincent D'Onofrio, who's a hell of an actor.
Yep. Yep.
So that's 3. I can't keep naming Law and Orders, even though there's about 17 of them.
Go with the original.
Practice. I used to watch The Practice in the 90s.
Practice is good. The practice was solid.
And I
These
guess
are your
this is a
top 5
drama,
of all
but-
time, JV. These are your top 5 of all time. Like let's really think about this. You want us to come back to you? Because right now your list is looking a little slim. You know what I mean? Looks like you just looks. You know when you're playing like is it bongo or whatever the fuck, the one that you hit and you got like a letter and you got to write a bunch of like the game. You got like a T and you got to write a bunch of T words. That's what you're doing right now with the L's. Law and Order.
I got 2 left. Fuck it, we'll finish it. You know what it was? Or maybe 1 left, and it's recent.
You got 2.
And I'm gonna go with it because fuck it. And I can't even remember the name. That's how little I fucking remember these shows. But I'm gonna put it in my top 5 greatest of all time.
I can't remember it right now. You know, it's funny that that's actually what I'm doing right now. I'm writing it down because I don't want to forget it when I get blown up on the spot. And now I can't remember the name of it.
Scandal
What's
Okay.
that?
with Kerry Washington. Scandal.
Yeah, no, okay, but
The Woman
this
Show?
is all right.
Yes,
How-
the Woman
okay.
Show. That's right.
What is she, a
Yeah.
president?
She's
No,
like
she's
a
not.
fixer. She's a fixer.
Yeah.
Okay.
And obviously Benjamin knows, so he's watching the Woman Show too. So there you go.
I have a
No.
wife.
Hey,
Son.
look, you
What's up?
motherfuckers watch Handmaid's Tale, so don't give me shit.
Handmaid's Tale is a really good show. Fuck
No,
you
And
for
of
being
course you're gonna
sexist.
defend
Not
it
because
because
it's
you
a
watch the
show.
Handmaid's Tale.
Not because it's a show for women. It's because it's a show with the main character being the woman. The woman's show.
Yeah,
Sorry.
defend your honor.
I'm not a sexist.
That's right. All right,
Damn, I got
so
one left, and come back to
no,
me for
that's
that
no.
one.
You
It's not
got
gonna be great.
five. You got five because
Yeah,
you
it's
got
like Law and Order.
criminal minds, 3 Law and Orders, and then scandal. That was your
Three
list.
Law and Orders.
You
I gave you
sorry
2 Law and Orders. I gave you
Uh,
No,
I
you
gave you
three.
SVU and Criminal Intent.
criminal. And I think you said some other Law and Order Miami. You're done, John. You're done.
There
You're
is
done
a
on
Law and
the.
Order
You're done
Miami.
with.
Fuck. All right.
There
We'll
might
move
as
on
well
to
be
the
with
next
your
one.
weak ass
Hey,
list.
all right, Steven,
Yeah.
who looks like you're fucking. Hey, you look like.
He's-
Why are
he-
you wearing that shirt, by the way? That shirt looks like you've been pulling on that shit like you're still 10 years old. What? I'm glad you fixed it because the collar was down
I
to
got a
here earlier.
you dick. He hangs on my shirt.
Oh, okay.
What do you want me to do? All my shirts look like
All right,
this.
Steve.
It's a
All right,
trap.
Steve. What you got? Because
All right. So-
redeem this list that we just popped up on the random because we did not talk about this in the pre-show.
I really try to keep it to 5, but I got 8.
All right, that's a terrible way to follow the rules of this fucking list. It's a top 5 as fuck.
Top 8. Gonna start off. Obviously, we're talking about a Handmaid's Tale.
Okay,
Fucking.
is that your number 8? Are these in order?
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? No. Let's give it number 8.
Yeah.
The Wire.
No. Five,
What?
The Wire.
The Wire.
Number 8.
John, I'm disappointed in you. I'm disappointed. Disappointed in you, son. How did you not say The Wire? We just talked about this.
I'm
You
gonna
could
get
have
another
mentioned
drink.
Oz.
I'm disappointed in myself. I need another drink.
You could have mentioned Oz, you fuck. All
Oh,
right.
that's-
So The Wire, number 8.
I'm gonna give American Horror Story. You know that they switch it up every season, which is awesome.
Yeah, that's dope.
It's got a great story every season, except for the circus. It was a little strange, but you know we'll forgive
I don't fuck
that.
with clowns. You know I don't fuck with clowns.
I love clowns, so
I like clowns.
I'm gonna let's see. Oh shit! You know what? Maybe on number 6 of that list is gonna be Handmaid's Tale, because I do like all the
Okay.
other ones a little bit better.
All right.
Number 5 on that list is gonna be Sons of Anarchy. Holy shit! From beginning to end, Sons of Anarchy
Yep,
was.
yep.
We got Breaking Bad. Breaking
Thank
Bad,
you.
insane. We got Dexter.
First 2 seasons, right? After John Lithgow, it kind of dragged. Let's be real.
Until he got
Let's be 100.
the stuff in his face.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. Shit. I'm gonna go with number 2, Peaky Blinders. There's just that show is
I've
electric.
been meaning to watch that fucking show.
Oh my god, that's probably like top 3 favorite shows.
Hey, by the way, I know you're gonna continue your list. That's where I fucked up. We were talking about some other bullshit, and I just had network TV in my head. That's all I had, and
Well,
then I
yeah.
didn't even think about
Yeah.
Spartacus and everything else and all the other shit.
That's why I'm kind of
Yeah,
glad
I
because
didn't,
it was me. I wouldn't have been able to think of all those.
and I'll tell you like this, John. I didn't write down anything you said because I didn't want that to be written history. I didn't want to put pen to
I
paper
mean, I said
on
that
your weak
shit.
ass
It's on
list.
video. It's on video. I'm gonna we're
No,
gonna
no,
post
I
it.
know, but it's fine that it's on video and it's your face saying it. But I didn't want my hand to write it. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't want to take personal account in that
You might get
whole
gangrene
situation.
if you wrote that shit. You might have to fucking cut your hand off.
Exactly,
Hey John, can
exactly,
you
bro.
look at Ben's screen and see that monkey's face and whatever's on the black on the left side of him looks like Mickey ears when he sits right in front of him. Put your head in the middle. They just a little more to the left, a little more to the left. There you go. They just look like Mickey ears right there.
Oh shit, it does look like Mickey ears. That's dope. All right, what's number 1, Steve? Stop stalling for time, motherfucker.
Oz.
Oz number 1. Yep.
Oz was that show that it was
See?
the thing
He
that
likes men getting fucking Diaz too.
Yeah, man, but
That was
you
a
know
hell
what
of a show.
is that I can't watch the Farmers commercial without thinking this motherfucker's a
That
rapist.
dude, for sure. What's crazy is that we
Yes,
talked about
yes.
The Wire and Oz on the last show, and I didn't fucking name those shows when he asked me.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
pathetic.
I started thinking on what I have in my collection that I've actually bought in Blu-rays and DVDs, because for me to buy 9, 8, 7 seasons, I mean,
Right.
I really, really, really have to like the show. So those are some of the ones that I own. I mean, one of the ones that I own that I didn't even put on the list was, oh shit, but she's a racist, Roseanne. And you
Is
know,
that drama?
no, it's
Drama.
not.
That's a comedy.
That's a comedy.
Yeah.
Um, you know, that one, that even though that show has nothing to do with what we're talking about, that show was like different for its time, and it showed that not everybody lived the full house life. And
Right.
growing up that kind of way, where you know not everything is perfect, was important to watch for people. I mean, now she came back and fucked it all up, but that show was gold. That show was gold, man.
Yeah,
Not
and
every
of course you got to bring it up, right? Because she's racist, and you can't say racist shit. So that's the closest you can get to saying some racist on the show.
Yeah.
Saying
Hey man,
Roseanne.
I listen to Bone Thugs and Harmony for all your friends in Ohio. 1990.
Oh, no, it's fun. Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
All right. I'm struggling because I've been trying to write this down.
So
while
you
guys
have
are going. I have five. I narrowed it down to five. I'm struggling with my number 2, so I'm still working on that one. So number 5, I got Lost.
You got what?
So
You got what?
Lost. Lost is my number 5. Did he just hit me with the wrap it up?
No, bruh. I've only seen the first
Lost.
episode 12 times.
I saw a few episodes of Lost. I never caught the show in any order. I just jumped around.
All right,
Hey, no, Lost is my number 5. Breaking Bad. Yeah, you know what? I know what it is.
Nobody's doing the Sopranos.
Fucking Sopranos.
Nah, man, just wasn't really my thing, bro. Like, I never really got into Sopranos like that. That's when, like, HBO, you had to pay like $90 a month for it. If you know what I mean. So, like, I'm not fucking.
It's
Now
89.
you get like the thing. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you could kind of put like Westworld in there, but that's too recent to put in like of all time. Like that's why I'm not even like if you look at this, there's no real recent shows. Like I'm not putting GOT on here because it's too recent. You know, I can't fuck with that one. So I got number 4, Breaking Bad. I think Breaking Bad is one of the greatest shows of all time. It's on the list. Sons of Anarchy. I mean, Jackson Teller. Jackson Teller was a motherfucking shit in that. Oz. I got Oz number 2. I got The Wire number 1.
Ooh.
I got The Wire number 1. I thought the first season of The Wire with Stringer Bell and that whole
he has this thing for Idris Elba. Don't let him get on this podcast and tell you what he has for Idris Elba, but he has this thing. All I can say is just
really.
Just
this is what I think about your list, man.
You son. Oh yeah. Law and Order. You gonna come out here and talk shit?
You're the what every time that when we're messaging on WhatsApp and we're about to do a podcast or even he's like, hey, I'm gonna go watch SVU with Melanie.
Yeah. But that's consistency. That's not greatness, son. That's just consistent. Like it's very much
I've ever mentioned. You say that you're gonna watch SVU again. No. I'm like, dude, SVU's not even live right now. What are you watching, a fucking marathon?
First of all, Waco is what I texted you yesterday, you lying fuck. Don't lie on this podcast. All right, there's video here. Don't do that. Don't be disrespectful. All right? Talked about Waco yesterday. Yeah, Waco's good. Waco would never be on any list though because it's a limited series. Right? Like that's too specific of a genre. Like it's because how it ends is how it already ended, right? 27 years ago, there's no more story to make. So but yeah,
Chernobyl was another really good one that was like that. It was that limited. You already know what happened. It was a good one.
Yeah, Chernobyl was fucking. Whew. When you see people's bodies melting, like, yo, how the fuck they do that? Like, what kind of graphics department did they have there, man?
That's where they spent all the money.
For real. So, John, I left your list blank. Do you want to try again, or do you want to just move on?
You know what?
Criminal Minds. Get the fuck out of here, bro.
Let's talk about John Jones.
Here's what I'm going to say, all right? You're not going to like it, and it's network TV. The X-Files.
Oh!
No, that's a good one. That's a good one, bro.
Definitely a great show.
Yo, that show was so good, I kind of semi-believed it was real. Like, you know how, remember that show? Remember Unsolved Mysteries?
You know what I think about your opinion? On my original list, which I thought was solid for network TV, if we're just talking about network TV.
But that's too specific of a genre. Like
I give you shit.
You give my shit what?
Network TV.
I give you
Listen,
shit. And
network
Netflix
TV would
just showed up.
network TV would be a good list 30 years ago if we didn't have 100 different streaming platforms. You know what I mean? Like you didn't even have you didn't have a premium cable on your list. You didn't have a basic cable. You had channels 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10.
Downton Abbey.
Hey. My mom was on welfare. What the fuck can I tell you? I couldn't afford fucking cable. I was watching PBS the whole time.
Motherfucker, you're 36. You've
Criminal
afforded
Minds.
some shit now.
Criminal Minds.
Criminal Minds. You must have a Criminal Minds.
Every episode was the same.
And you know, it's crazy. I watch
He
Criminal
said
Minds on
Criminal
fucking
Minds.
Netflix. I don't even watch that shit on network TV.
Ion
Oh,
television.
he said,
on
Ion television. yes, Ion television.
Ion.
it's that channel you come across like, yo, what the fuck is Ion?
Ion, you know
Is
what
this-
Ion is? I think
Is
Oprah
this-
TV used to be Ion. It used to be Oprah TV or some shit, or Oxygen or whatever these fucking channels are.
Own.
Oh my god, this motherfucker's
Own,
a
that's
Criminal
right, you know what
Minds
Own
with a
is?
straight face on this.
Oprah Winfrey Network.
Hey,
Thug Life, baby. That's that Oxygen channel.
all right, man. I want to ask y'all about something.
Magic School Bus was on his list.
Hey, by the way, number one has got to be The Wire season 1 for sure.
Oh.
Yeah, The Wire season 1. The Wire season 1 is one of the greatest seasons in the
Oz
history.
is on there as well. Yeah, no,
Oz
The Wire season 1.
Yeah,
you're right.
all season 1, The Wire season 1 are one of the greatest seasons in television history, bro. Like those two shows, because they were so different than anything else. Than anything else that was on was just so impactful, man. I mean, I would put, if I would take off Lost off my list, I would put Friday Night Lights. I thought Friday Night Lights, the TV show, like the series, was really good. But it had like too much sports, so I don't know if you could exactly call it a drama. So
Arthur
Count.
at School Bus.
Not just school bus, bro. He had Saved by the Bell college years on his fucking list.
College years, hey, college years are dramatic, baby. You don't know what the fuck's gonna happen in college. You're gonna drop out. Who knows? How are you gonna find that job when you graduate?
Family
Yo,
Matters.
shout out to that.
Clarissa explains it all.
Blossom. This
Yeah,
motherfucker
I'll
had
fucking
Blossom.
spit my whiskey out. Jesus.
90210.
Melrose Place ass look.
Oh man.
Oh man, yo,
I'm
John,
gonna
thank
cancel
you, man.
both of you.
This is
Oh,
yo,
man.
Steve. Speaking of funny shit, have you seen Chris D'Elia stand up on Netflix?
No.
Oh, bro, please watch that. We won't ruin it for you. You won't. Please watch it. It
Okay.
is fucking hilarious, man. Just watch it. But yeah. So I don't know if you guys
I'll
heard
tell
about.
you one thing. I'll tell you one thing about the D'Elia show, okay? And you'll know it for sure. The sound that Ben makes, if you were on Oz, you'll know it.
Yeah,
That sound
that's
that
a-
Ben
you
would
know what?
make, if you were on Oz,
Solid.
you'll know what sound that is. I'm not
Real
even gonna
quick,
say
though,
what the
I'd
sound
be-
is, but you'll know it.
Real quick though, I would. If that was
gonna
ever
go
a
from,
situation.
he's gonna go from real quick to that sound you're about to hear on that D'Elia show. You'll hear it. You know what sound that is.
I would be the pitcher, not the catcher, though. I just wanna be 100%
Hey, when
about.
you hear that sound, you make up your mind if
I'd
he's gonna
be
be
a
the
top.
pitcher or the catcher.
To catch
I'd
a breath.
100%
You
be
figure it
top.
out. You'll know.
Jerry Springer.
100% be a top.
Jerry Springer, that's my number 5 show. Yeah, for sure.
Oh,
this
man.
midget slept with my mama, and now she's pregnant.
John's life.
But yeah,
All
I
right,
want to
John,
ask you guys. So I don't know if you heard about this Joe Rogan shit. That I was actually talking about it with my wife earlier. So Joe Rogan, you're able. So you know how the big thing is like people aren't able to get tests, or people aren't able to get tested, right? Through their like health insurance, their medical doctor, all that shit. So Rogan actually has been buying his tests, right? Because they're like you buy like a private service, and they're like $200 a test or some shit for the guests that he has in studio, right? And I was like, yo, that makes all the sense in the world because what Rogan does is he cuts out the bureaucracy of, you know what I mean, filling out what was it? It's not. I always forget the fucking word when I'm about to say it, bro. You know how they have like requirements to get tested. Like you gotta have these kind of symptoms. You gotta have all this shit. You know what I mean? So like he cuts all that out. He's like, yo, I don't want you to fucking come in my room if you got that shit. So what y'all think about that, man? Do you think it's wrong that that people like of that wealth are able to test like that, or do you think it's fucking ridiculous about the fact that there's requirements to get tested?
I was watching. There got to be requirements, right? Because supposedly we are limited on the amount of tests that we have and how many people can get tested. But then
Right.
you have someone like Rogan who's got the money, who says, "I'm gonna test everyone that comes on my show." And I was watching his show with Dalia, which was probably a week
Yep.
and a half ago, where he talks about this. Like, hey, I get everyone tested. They're joking about it, whatever. So is he taking away from people that should be tested? You know what I mean? Like,
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think
So
so.
then
Because
these private companies that are providing him the tests, can't they be
$200
doing more to provide to these hospitals and healthcare workers and the general public?
because he's paying $200 a test, and I'm pretty certain, knowing the government, they're trying to get these things for about 10 cents a test. Bill your insurance $150, $200 a test. And look at the scale that he's doing it on. How many people has he tested? 10, 12, 15?
He does a show
maybe.
every couple of days, maybe every other day or every day almost. So yeah, maybe
Let's
50
just
to
say
20.
let's just say he spent 20 tests. That's really nothing compared to the hundreds of thousands that we need for normal people, I guess. I mean, I grew up in the United States of America. I'm used to this kind of shit. Like, it's not new to me.
Yep.
Like you said in that show platform, we've always been the fucking bottom. We've always been the bottom of the levels. I mean, it's not shocking to me. You know what was shocking to me? When they actually said that they were going to give us $1,200 stimulus checks. I was shocked. I was like, they're going to do that for people? They don't do shit for anybody.
Right.
You know, I had a buddy of mine post this video from this guy, which I've been saying forever, and you know, it feels good to have somebody validate your opinion. Is complete horseshit. Like, you explain to me why my mortgage company tells me that they're going to do a forbearance on my mortgage. What fucking good does that do me that when I go back to work I have to pay 3 months worth plus the month that I owe? That doesn't help me. There's no way in shit that I'm going to go to work for 30 days and only pay 4 months of mortgage, as if it's the only bill and my whole life depends on it. I mean, they're not doing anybody any favors. So the fact that there's no test, the fact that this whole thing is a fucking disaster, it doesn't surprise me. I don't even care. I don't care. I know that I don't have it. I mean, it's not a death wish, even if you do get it. I know a couple people that have had it. They're fine now. So, I mean, coronavirus doesn't scare me like it does most people. I mean, I obviously know that people are dying from it, but if more people died from the flu in 2018 than they have in the coronavirus, why didn't we care as much back then as we do now?
John, you got something to say to that? Because I was gonna jump in.
I was just bringing up the question. I was playing devil's advocate as far as asking if he was taking something away from the general public. Obviously, if he's gonna keep doing his show, I think, and he's paying $200 a test, he's got the money to pay it. Although I kind of disagree with you. I dealt with in my past life with government contracts. The government will pay fucking ridiculous, insanely disgusting amounts of money for something that you wouldn't think is worth that much. For sure.
Have we not seen War Dogs? Have we not seen War Dogs?
Yeah,
that's guns.
And that movie was based off a real thing. And it's funny because when I was going through contracting school 7 years ago, one of my classmates who she majored in like theater or like screen something with in the arts, and she's written some screenplays and stuff. And we're talking about that situation. I was like, you know what? Someone needs to make a movie about this. Like, someone needs to write something out, and we were talking about it, like, for real, and then 2 years later, fucking War Dogs comes out. The same shit that we're talking about, because the two Jewish dudes that came up and fooled the government into thinking that they were getting their weapons from, I forget now, China or whatever. They're getting illegal weapons, sending them back to the U.S. for who knows how much more. But it's a real thing. The government pays outlandish amounts of money for things that they shouldn't. And I mean, I think that was we found out about that when what was the golden the golden toilet or something with like the shit in Iraq and stuff that was going down. So
Yep.
crazy, crazy shit. But
Yeah, there's a
no,
lot of waste.
yeah, there absolutely, absolutely because like there's fraud, waste, and abuse and stuff. We have things to stop that, but at the end of the day, like contracts are big money, and
Mhm.
but I don't think Rogan is doing a disservice. Like I don't think he's taking anything away from you and I. But what I
Right.
think where he has a false sense of security is that, like you said, you may be asymptomatic. You have it, but you don't get sick, so it doesn't affect you. I may have it, and I may not get sick. I may not develop any symptoms, but I may be carrying the virus. And so, if he's having people on the show and he tests them, and then they test negative because whatever, like they don't have any symptoms. But
Right.
how is there a way to really determine someone doesn't have the virus, or are we testing for? You know what I mean?
And that's the thing, the misinformation. They don't tell us anything. We don't even know if those tests are really for what they say they are.
Right.
You know? There's no proof.
There's a lot. There's a lot of skepticism with everything, right? Like
Yeah.
we don't, I don't, like we really don't know what's what, like what to believe, what to go off of, what's true, what's not, and you know what I mean? Because this
course
side
not.
saying this thing, so we don't know what the fuck is what.
If
No,
you go to
yeah,
the
I mean, that
hospital today, if you go to the hospital today with a fever and respiratory, you have breathing problems and you die, they're just
None
going
of
to
us get
say,
tested.
"Damn,
None of us get tested.
coronavirus." They just say, boom, you died of coronavirus. They haven't, like, they're not proving that people are coming. You could come in with a symptom of something. You can go, if you've ever been on WebMD, you could say you have something and it says you could have cancer. I mean,
Yeah.
it could be anything. But
Yeah.
if you're dying from breathing problems and a fever and a mild cough, and you had the coronavirus and you died from that, and I mean, without testing you, without anything, they're just calling it what it is right now, and then letting it go. But it's 6 months ago, if you did, they would just say that they would test you. They would say, oh, you had respiratory failure, and that's how you died. Now you're dying from coronavirus.
Yeah, because if you have like certain immune system compromises and shit like that, you know what I mean? We talked about on the last podcast with Peter, like you don't know what the reactions actually are to it. I mean, it's a lot of unknowns, right? Like, I mean, like even through the process of this conversation, like even we don't know. So I'm assuming like people who are giving tons and tons of information, one saying this, one saying that, they're trying to break it all down and figure out what works and what isn't true and shit like that. So it's crazy. But yeah, back to the Rogan thing. I don't think he's doing a disservice because if it's a private thing, I think California was one of the first states to do like mass testing. You know what I mean? And the thing is with like hospitals and stuff like that, there's a lot of bureaucracy that goes into getting tested, right? But like they're telling, I've heard stories, I can't say from who, I've heard stories that that they won't let them get tested because then they might have to call off work, or they get scared the staff, or you know what I mean, if they have to self quarantine themselves and they can't work, and they have to bring other people in. So they put this pressure on the staff and essential workers, you know what I mean, to like not get tested. So even, you know what I mean, so like that's why nurses, like if there's an outrage on that, that's not an onus on Rogan or anybody in that class or anybody that has the capability of getting tested themselves. Because like I told you, I don't know if we said it already during the recording, but now they opened up in Lake County, which is the county next to mine, not too far, like 15 minutes on the road. They started being free testing, or not free testing. It's like $20 to get tested, even if you're asymptomatic. If you think you have it or if you don't, and it's just drive up, you get the swab or whatever. They test it, and in 15 minutes you'll know. So like that, but that's what they should have been doing from the get go, right? Like because that's what like South Korea did, which was like mass testing and tracing and all that shit. Because you got to figure it out. Because if you just like the numbers we have now are incorrect, right? Because these are just the confirmed cases of people they've actually tested. Who knows how many people are running around asymptomatic with different kind of issues and stuff like that, self quarantining, possibly dying at home. So if everybody's not getting tested, then you don't have the real data and you don't have the real analytics to know what the fuck is what.
Exactly. You know, and it looked at the beginning of this whole thing that we did do a pop-up little drive-through of the testing, but then I saw nothing of it a couple days after. Like, I actually saw a meme that said, if anybody's good at doing drive-throughs, it's America. They should be on top of this already. I mean, I in the beginning, I did see where they were doing some drive-through testing, but you don't. I haven't heard anything about it.
Well, your state's kind of crazy because like your governor just learned last week that the disease can be
Coronavirus is
transmitted
real.
asymptomatically.
Hey man,
You know
I
what I
voted
mean?
for Stacey Abrams, so
I know. But the guy, like, hey, listen, I voted for the other guy who ended up being like a crackhead.
yeah.
So, you know what I mean? Like, we have those mistakes, but you know what I mean? We roll with DeSantis now, but I mean he's a huge shit show himself.
Broadcast.
This guy wants
Hey,
to do this podcast.
Finally, someone legitimate on the show. Thank you for coming on.
Say
wanna
hi, I'm
show
Kingston.
you-
Hey, you're live on the internet, man.
I want to show you something already.
Thank
You
you.
want-
Just cover his mouth and tell him to stop talking. Kingston,
Go.
you're right. For
If your
sure.
mother lets you out again, you're punished for 6 days.
You
Go,
made the right choice.
go.
6 days. That's so specific, yo.
Quarantine him for
Not a week. Not 6 days.
6 days.
Is it like Monday to Saturday? How would that work? Or it's like Sunday
gonna-
to Friday.
It's definitely gonna be Friday to
Oh,
Thursday.
that is a huge.
Go inside, boy.
that
It's
is
just
a
ruining my.
Hey,
my
hey, Kingston, you're right. Just go ahead and kick your dad off the show. That dude is not bringing any quality right now. He's not bringing
All
anything
right,
worthwhile.
Magic School Bus.
Mr. fucking
Fucking
Rogers.
Chris.
Get
I
that shit
can't
right.
believe. I can't believe you gave us Law and Order SVU, Law and Order Connecticut, Law and Order
No, Law and
Kentucky.
Order Criminal Tate. Let's get it right. Kentucky wasn't good. Law and Order Louisiana, you gotta check that shit out. I'm sure there's a Law and Order Louisiana. No, there's an NCIS.
Isn't there like a-
Fucking New Orleans for sure.
There's an NCIS dude.
Orleans.
Goddamn
Real,
NCIS.
man.
That
Yeah,
shit's
look,
crazy, bro.
You know what's crazy is that I lived in Daegu, man. I was stationed there when I was in the army, and that's what the second or third largest, like most populous city in Korea, and I think that's where the outbreak started in Korea in Daegu. And so the way that Korea is, I guess, sectioned off is by centers. Seoul is financial. It's the capital, but it's the finance center, and
Right.
I think 10 million people live in Seoul, but there's like 20 million people that live within a 30-mile radius total of that city. It's fucking. I've been to Tokyo, and it's fucking crowded. It's rush hour all the time. They have a great public transportation system, so you can get around anyway. But people are on top of each other. It's worse than New York for sure. You know, New York is like what, 8 million people. Seoul is 10 million people just in the city, but then another 20 million people, 20 to 30 that live that work there and commute there. It's crazy. And Daegu is not quite as big, but it's another pretty populous city. And the fact that Korea was able to start to flatten out their curve, and we weren't
Right away.
Like, yeah, right away. Like they took that shit seriously, and so that part of that you can't depend on the government for everything, but at the same time, like where do you get your news, right? Like we have the White House, and then we have the press conferences, and then the news gets fed to the media from the White House, the supposedly official news and message. So if the White House isn't taking it seriously, and that's the news that they're feeding to the media, who's feeding it to us, like, I mean, we really got to do some digging to try to figure shit out. But
Yeah.
You know,
It
I
It shouldn't be.
that's
I
rough.
think
It shouldn't be up to us for.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be up to us to do that digging, right? Like,
no because
I know we talked about it before. Like, I know it's scary, and you mentioned a lot, and it's scary to think that like the government's telling us what to do, like stay home and all that stuff. That's very much so 1984 or Orwellian shit.
Orwellian.
But like at least with this, give us the information and let us have the choice, right? When you choose not to give us the information, then we can't make an educated choice. We can't make an educated decision. That's my biggest issue with this whole thing, right? Like, dude, my Panama, our home country, me and Stevens, right? Like they shut shit down, you know what I mean? And smaller towns like in Los Santos, right? I was talking to my dad.
Wait, Steven.
He said that
he's not Irish.
no
I
boy,
know, right? He looks
Santos.
like
Los
He looks like
Santos.
Conor
Yeah,
McGregor.
I can tell you're from Los Santos the way you fucking pronounce that shit. Los Santos.
Los Santos.
I can tell for sure.
Los Santos.
Santos, cheat tray, motherfucker.
But yeah, dude, like my dad says that like they're giving out. It's crazy there. Like they tell them like the last two digits of like their social security number. They'll say it on the news, and like only those people with those numbers at the end of their social can go out, right? Like to go grocery shopping. And like some days they don't give out any numbers. When you go out, you can only go out for an hour to get like essential stuff like groceries, stuff for the house. But there's some days where like You can't go out at all.
You know,
Because you just don't know.
You
But
sent me
again,
that
like
video
even
of
that,
Panama.
like even in the small towns that we live in, that we came from, they're getting information. Here we're just like, fuck it, let's protest and let's bust this fucking peak out and see what
Yeah.
happens.
that's because we've been doing it for so long, and I think the main issue was I got sent home first week of March or March 10th, something like that. If as a nation we were told you must stay home 14 days, you can go to the grocery store from this time to this time, and that is it. You have to wear a mask. If we put in those guidelines from the get, we would have already been opened. We would have already flattened the curve all the way down to the bottom. But no,
Yep.
we let it. So we said, oh, essential workers. You have ice cream shops that are open right now as essential. Like, you're not understanding. You left it up to the big businesses to decide, or you left it up to CEOs and business heads who was essential and who was not. And I don't think many of the people who are essential are essential. I think that if you're emergency services, or if you know, like hospital, or even like you, where you know you're working on important machinery, that's
Right.
essential. If it's not that, you stay home, and that's
Yep.
it. And if you would have stayed home for the 3 weeks, let's even push it back to last week, a month, we would have been done. We would have been done. But that's not the case. We made it so it was like, hey, we have a stay at home order. Everybody has to stay home. I've been down going to Target. So I live by a place that has like a marketplace that has like a Kohl's, a Target, and a Lowe's all in one shopping center. Tell me why Lowe's is packed to the brim with people buying fucking plants and flowers and soil. Tell me how that's essential. And this is the problem. You needed to cut the large companies should have said, you know what? We can sell you the essential items and things you need for your home, but for you to just have free range and go to CVS and buy deodorant when one other company has all of it, you know what I'm saying? Like they should have been strict when they first found out. Everybody was talking. Now we're talking about reopening the restaurant and keeping people 6 feet apart and social distancing. And how long are we going to play that game? How long are we going to play the game where I have to keep a distance and I can't shake anybody's hand because in my mind the whole world has coronavirus? It's not going to help. If you would have stopped everybody from leaving their house and had only true essential people going and everybody else worked from home, it would have stopped it. And to me, this is the problem with this country, is that I feel like other countries took a stronger stance on stopping this. And we're just like, hey, if you want to buy soil, go right ahead. But hey, we're going to open up the grocery store at 7 o'clock in the morning for the old people for an hour. That doesn't fucking help. It doesn't help. You had to limit the amount of people who were out on the streets.
It's a dangerous game, man. Because I mean,
I get it.
Spain went so far as to say kids can't even come out. Right? Just now, within the last day or two, they're saying that now kids can come out to have a walk with their parents because it's, you know, you're out in the open and those, you know, you're not in a confined space where you're gonna touch something. And so I see both sides. I see the sides where, like, Ben and I have talked about this a few times, where we're just letting the government dictate what we do, and it seems Orwellian, and we just we're just sheep. But at the same time, you're right. You know, Michigan did that. The governor of Michigan, where she says you can't do any. She very strict guidelines. That's why they started protesting there first, what you could or couldn't buy. But you know what? I kind of agree with her. Like, I get that you got to do yard work, you got to mow your fucking lawn, but why do you need to go buy fertilizer? Like, why do you need to go buy whatever it is to work on a project, a fucking passion project for the summer? Wait fucking 2 weeks, go buy your food, buy your medicine, get home, wait this shit out.
And that's the thing. Like, for me, people are becoming more restless now in the second month, and now we're talking about going into May with this. This is when people, I feel, are justified in being angry and saying, hey, you're making us stay at home. I get that.
We didn't do it right the first time.
And I'm the number one person to say that I'm not going to let the government dictate anything that I do. But if this was a true pandemic and everybody believed it at first, and you said, "Hey guys, it's just 3 weeks. Let's stay home. Everything's gonna go back to normal if everybody stays home." It would have been done, and nobody would have had built up that energy to have to protest anything because it was going to be done quicker than it even started.
Yeah, but that message comes from the top, right? When at first that message we hear is like, we're gonna in 2 days it's gonna be a miracle and there's gonna be no cases,
And
and
that,
then it's not being taken seriously, and it, from the top, whatever the scientists are saying, they're saying one thing, but then our own, the administration is saying another thing. That's kind of tough, and I know there's a lot of people out there that feel that way. That whether they feel it's a hoax, or they don't feel that it's that serious, or they feel like they're not going to get sick, there should have been a uniform message saying, "Hey, we're all gonna stay home," like you said earlier. We're all gonna stay home, and we'll wait 14 days, and that's how we're gonna flatten the curve. Instead of like saying it's not that serious, and then they had to readjust the message multiple times, and now it's like the governors. That was a crazy thing to me on Thursday. The message was the governors. I'm gonna leave each state to do it on their own. The states have every state has different situations, right? Not every state is affected the same way, so I'm gonna let the governors decide how they're going to handle it. And then immediately there are crazy tweets saying liberate Michigan, liberate this, liberate that. That's nuts,
because we've
man.
been at home for so long already, and that was something I wanted to talk to Peter about. And Sunday would have been a good podcast to be in.
Yeah.
How do you justify what your president says? How do you, well, all of our presidents, how do you justify what our president says? Because you can be a Republican and you can be a Democrat. That doesn't bother me. You could love Trump and you could hate Trump. That does not bother me. What bothers me is not being able to look at something seriously. Like, for once in your life, this isn't a fucking game. Give us a real, definitive theory or answer to something. Just don't say, it's nothing. It's stupidity.
So I want to answer that, right? Like, so one of the reasons why I appreciate having Peter on the podcast is like, I don't want him to become the monolithic answer and the monolithic conservative to like have to answer for like everybody's perspective. You know what I mean? So like when I have those conversations with him, he's very smart.
But Peter's more of like he seems like a libertarian to me. I mean, obviously he's definitely open-minded.
More libertarian. He is more libertarian, but he does have like more conservative Trump leanings, right?
Yeah.
Like we've had debates. You know what I mean? We've had debates and discussions, and like we both know what we're talking about. So it's never like, oh, fuck you too, or like cuck and all, you know what I mean? Like all that other shit. Like we have a good conversation. So I wanted to make sure, and I talked to John about it. I wanted to make sure I didn't want him to be like the guy that has to answer for somebody else's decisions, because you know what I mean? Like I want to understand like the mentality of how a conservative thinks in that way, right? Like it's for me to be like, oh, why the fuck is your president doing this? Like it would be like an easy gotcha conversation, because there's part he knows he did wrong. Like he kind of explained it with like when he explained the coup stuff, right? Like there's a bunch of stuff that has to happen, that has to be done, and one guy just doesn't know it. Like Peter has more experience dealing with all this shit than the president does. If we're, you know what I mean? If we're being, because he's handled all that shit. He did it for 30 years, and he did it all in the private and in the military. So having him on, I don't want him to be like the guy that has to answer for this stuff and like catch like the liberal or progressive rage, you know what I mean? Or have those questions, because then it becomes a shouting match and like a justification for the question or the response.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Well, for me personally, I don't argue politics with anybody, because it's just I'd like to see another person. I tend to get in conversations with like-minded people like myself, and right. They agree with me on most things. I want somebody to oppose what I say, because I want to know what somebody else is thinking, so that maybe I could change my mind. I mean, right. or maybe I can better understand, because from what I hear, like, if I'm going to watch the news, I'm not watching Fox News for any information. I'm going to watch the Young Turks, or I'm going to watch CNN, and of course, I'm you got to be blind to say that Fox News is biased, but yours is not. Yours is true, and that one's biased. Same as vice versa. I love other people's opinions, whether I agree with them or not, because it helps me understand better than what I'm talking about. And he's a genius.
Right.
Peter's. I was listening to him, and I was like, he definitely.
Yeah, he's brilliant.
So
yeah, he's brilliant.
So it's always good. I like getting both sides of the story.
That's why I thought it was so good having Felix on, because Felix is a very intelligent man. You know what I mean, dude himself. So like they're back and forth. I like being like me and John being the host of the show when we have conversations like that. Like it's different when we're all just talking shit. You got your volume on too loud, bro. That's what it is. When we have conversations like how we did when it was me, you, John, and Chris, it's different because we're all just talking shit, having a good time. But like with Felix and Peter, like they're both people that know, really know their shit. Like the conversation I had with Felix that Sunday before, I think it was that Sunday before, like learning about UBI was a totally different thing that I had never thought of. Like he really knew his shit. Like I thought just UBI, I was like, oh man, get $1,000 a month and like you kind of figure it out. But like the fact that when he broke it down to like, oh, if you think about it, if it's you and your wife, both of you guys get $1,000 a month, and you don't like the school area that you're in, and you got a kid that's going into school, now you have you could save up for 3 months, and now you have $6,000 saved up to be able to move, and you have the first and the last, and all that. Like those are things that I never thought about, right? And I like to, my own ego, I like to think I know a version of everything that's like liberal or progressive in that sense, right? Because there's things I am conservative on, like I'm a gun owner and shit like that, but I don't really, you know what I mean? I'm not conservative like telling women what to do with their bodies and all that other. Like I think it's stupid. These protesters I think are fucking dumb. You know what I mean? But again, it leads into that, right? And you guys brought up a thing I never thought about was the fact that it just keeps rolling in. Like, oh no, we were gonna go April 25th. Oh, sorry guys, now it's gonna be May 1st. It's not looking like May 1st, guys. So maybe May 15th we'll open it up. Maybe June 1st. You know what I mean? Like this constant lack of changing the conversation and moving the goalposts is what gets people so enraged. Because if you just do the 2-3 weeks, let's shut everything the fuck down except for grocery stores, right? And I mean, yeah, grocery stores are probably the only thing that need to be open. Fast food doesn't need to be open.
No.
The way, you know what I mean? Fast food doesn't need to be open the way it is. Pizzas and shit, like you could just buy pizzas at Publix, Walmart, and all these different groceries. Just keep them super stocked up and be good. Have those three things, have that thing open in gas stations, maybe. You know what I mean? And that's it. Because gas stations, you don't have to deal with nobody in the place.
Yeah.
So you just get gas and move on. Because you still have truck drivers that have to deliver shit, so you need the gas stations open. But you shut everything down for those 3 weeks. Be the leader in the leadership moment. But like this, like we have 15 now, but next week we'll have 0. Like you can't have revisionist history when we got video, bro. Like you can't go back and like, yo, I had it right the whole time. No, you didn't, man. Your China ban didn't work, motherfucker. We're the number one coronavirus in the world. We're the number one leaders. We got all the cases, most confirmed, most deaths. Even if it is attributed to something else, as of right now, this is the data that we have. Yeah. So that's the data that we have to play with. But again, and I'll say this every single time when we have these debates and these discussions, right? We're just assholes on the internet. Nothing we say will ever be policy, right? Like nothing we say would ever be written into law unless we, you know what I mean? One day decide to run for Congress or governor or fucking president or some shit. Nah, you won't, John. You're too short, bro. You got to be a little taller. You got to be, you know what I mean? Like you got to have more of a presence.
The NBA,
you're more like a chief of staff. I mean, you're like the equipment. You're like the equipment manager. You're like George Stephanopoulos, is what you are.
I like chief of staff better because that's the motherfucker that makes shit happen. You're right.
Yeah, so you're more chief of staff. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't have the persona or character or charm or anything that takes.
You can shut right the fuck up right about now. You can just stop talking.
Hey man, I apologize. I know that hurt a little bit.
The thing about the protesters is that I'll never knock anybody's reason to protest. People protest for all kinds of reasons, whether I agree with it or not.
Right.
What makes it stupid is that these are the same people who said protesters are stupid for protesting the 1% having all 99% of the wealth, and they're all here talking about they want haircuts. I mean, that's the problem. It's like, wait, what? You know, we're talking about wage equality here. Shout out to Bernie Sanders. We're talking about wage equality out here, and you're talking about you want a haircut. Like, I mean, and it's crazy because I'd understand if it was the same people that said, you know, that the protests were stupid and they weren't the ones protesting that they wanted a haircut. You know, that's one thing, but to completely just protest about some dumb shit like that just makes
but
you know what's crazy?
Here's what does bother me. Sorry, go ahead, John. Go ahead.
I caught. I don't think I tagged you, but I tagged Ben. I believe there was Columbus. I know. I was watching these protests live over the weekend in Columbus and Michigan.
The one in Colorado.
I tagged Ben, and not the one in Colorado, but in Ohio and the one in
Columbus,
Michigan.
Ohio, Ben. Jesus.
And come on, there's a bunch of fucking hippies in Colorado. What are they gonna be protesting? They're all smoking weed and shit.
They were protesting though. Protesting.
Yeah, but you know, I was watching the Breitbart? That's what I was watching.
Yeah.
So you would think that a news outlet like that is so far right, they would interview people that would seem somewhat intelligent to their cause, and they weren't. You're watching this live event, and they go up to people and they talk to them, and they have no fucking idea. So it's not just like the liberal media or the left media grabbing these clips. Like we look at Jordan Kepler, who just, you think that he's just picking and choosing and editing these clips of fucking just retarded, fucking stupid Trump supporters. No.
Yeah.
I was watching the live Breitbart fucking broadcast, and they're going to these people that are protesting, and I'm like, you guys, why are you doing this live? Like, the people that you're putting up on camera are fucking idiots. They're not making your cause look good.
But John, what you think about
why
it, right?
would you do that to yourselves?
Their cause to them resonates with a lot of people. Like, what, as stupid as they sounded, they sound smart to somebody. You get what I'm saying? Like, because there's other people in that crowd that think just like them.
Yeah.
So
and again, Steven is right.
It sounds stupid to us, right? Because we are rational thinking. We're not sheep. We're like, oh wait, that doesn't make sense. They don't say that. They just say everything's a conspiracy. You know what I mean? Everything they can't rationalize or break down in their own brain, they just go into some other shit like Pizzagate. I mean, and all this other shit. So yeah, I'm so like, dude, like if like the thing that bothered, like I always am pro protesting, right? I rock with protesting. I think it's, right. I mean, it's written in our fucking constitution. Never have a problem against it. Where I have a problem with these protesters is showing up armed. Then it becomes something different,
peaceful
bro.
Protest.
Yeah, I'm always about peaceful protest. You know what I mean? Like, but these are also the same people who said anybody who protests deserve to get run over and try to run them over. You know what I mean?
And so people on the other side do get pepper spray.
Exactly. Like, how do you show up with AR-15s across your chest on the state capitol, and that's just cool?
It's a peaceful protest, but I'm gonna have my fucking AR-15 and M16 across my chest and my fucking vest. But I'm peacefully protesting.
Like we talked about it, right? Like, I have a problem with authority, have most of my entire life. But if I'm a cop and that's it, I'm arresting them. Like, I don't give a fuck if like Pro 2A bro, you're not showing up in a crowd of people armed with your clips in, with your magazines in, just ready for what are you ready for? It doesn't take a lot
to start a fucking riot or some crazy shit.
It doesn't take a lot. This and a go.
That's it. And then once person starts shooting, they start shooting back. Then you got a massacre, you got a Waco on your hands, and then what? Like, I don't understand. I don't understand showing up armed. But that's what happens when you're men like that who piss on their own balls because their dicks are too small. You know what I mean? Like, that's what it is. Like, oh, look how big my gun is. All right, bro, I got 4 guns by my motherfucking self. You don't see me just walking around with it, just you know what I mean, ready to show you. I've never posted a picture of any of my guns. You know what I mean? Like, that's not who I am. I don't understand.
That's the only power that they have.
Yeah. That's terrifying, bro. Because all it takes is one person to show up that wants a little bit more power that pulls that trigger. You know what I mean? I'm sure there was tons of people there protesting normally, not pressing their fucking face up against the glass like idiots or facing off with possibly nurses or just a guy in scrubs or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, who knows what it was? But for the most part, dude, if you see somebody with a gun and you're with them, like, yo, man, put your fucking gun up. What are you doing? Who are you gonna shoot at? Aren't you Blue Lives Matter, motherfucker? Ain't you that same team? Ain't you that same team?
It's
But
funny.
now
they
we're
contradict themselves that way. It's funny.
yeah. But now we're the assholes because we pointed out we're libtards or some shit. I've never wanted to shoot a cop. I've never said, oh, I hope they take it away from my cold dead fingers. Hey man, the only people that would take it away would be guns. Your guns would be the police or the military. Are you gonna shoot at them? Then what are we talking about?
No, yeah, that's a completely different thing. I mean, I think that it all goes on. You know, I hate saying boomers, but it's a boomer mentality where everything is an issue unless it's their issue.
Them.
Then
Yep.
if it affects them, then it's everybody else who has a problem, and there's no way you can talk them otherwise. And to me, I've had conversations like politically about, Trump and this and that, and if you ask any super Republican what they hated so much about Obama, they're just going to tell you Obamacare. That's all they have.
Yep.
That's all they have. I lost a lot of respect because I lost a lot of respect for Obama because he passed CISPA. How come the far right doesn't know CISPA allows the NSA to spy on everything that we do? And why is healthcare your biggest issue? It's because you heard it on Fox News and it started to snowball, and you talk about the man wearing a tan suit and being disrespectful. Yeah. And it's like whatever you watched on your news is what you believe. What I watch on my news, I check for myself. And if I'm with it, I'm with it. If I'm not, I'm not. Like, you can always turn a Democrat to a Republican, but you can never turn a Republican into a Democrat. And that says a lot.
Facts. I've had people on my, like, it's weird, man. Like, I've had people on my Facebook share, like, completely false shit. Like, there's this person that, like, shared, like, a picture of, like, some old white guy, like, awkwardly kissing a little girl and goes, there goes Joe Biden. I was like, oh, all right. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, no. There's plenty of real pictures of Joe Biden super creepy. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, there's plenty of pictures. There's plenty of pictures of Biden being really creepy. You don't have to put up a picture of just a random ass old white dude.
Yeah.
Just being creepy. Like, what are we?
Just
like,
to make the post.
It's weird. Yeah. It's weird.
It's almost like if I posted a bag of Cheetos and said, "Oh, here goes Donald Trump." Like it doesn't have it's comical, I guess, but I mean, it doesn't have like any real substance to it. And that's another thing.
Not at all.
People just every day I go on social media and every day I go, I don't want to be on this anymore because it's just filled with crap. Like, we really poison ourselves by looking, reading, watching just shit. It's just shit. Like puddles of shit, and that's what social media is. Like, I can't log on right now with something about COVID and something.
Puddle.
But
you know, imagine that though, like a puddle of shit.
Yeah,
shout out to
watch
MySpace.
the platform.
Shout out
Top
to
8, baby. Top 8, baby. How do you being able to play music in the background? Yo, I gotta rant. Let's just. What was the last? Can you remember the last song you played as your background music? Remember that shit? Remember being able to play music on your webpage?
So Sick by Neo.
By Neo, back that ass up, Juvenile.
No, you.
That was a good song. It was
my
like
God.
A song from Bone Thugs, but you know.
Mariah Carey, Boyz II Men, One Sweet Day.
Hey, MySpace is still out there, but people are using it for fucking getting discovered for music and shit. Because apparently it's still a thing.
Okay.
I hope so, man. Tom did his thing, bro. Tom did his motherfucking thing.
Yeah.
Hey, John.
He was my only friend on MySpace, so I don't know. He's a good guy.
But it was weird. It was weird that, like, Back That Ass Up was your song for that one dude. All right.
He liked it.
So you want to put Oz as your number?
You didn't have a lot of internet.
Now we know why Oz is number one. We'll move it up to number one. But Steven said something hilarious because the first time I watched those fucking Allstate commercials, I saw that dude, and all I thought was like, that motherfucker. Like, where do I know
Yeah.
him from? And then I was like, yeah,
He put a swastika on some guy's ass.
he did.
Yeah. He really did, bro.
We
He
are
branded that
farmers.
motherfucker.
Horrible. Horrible. I don't know what they were thinking when they hired this man. They should have been like, maybe
won an
a different
Oscar.
lifetime.
He won an Oscar for some movie where he was like a band teacher that my father-in-law keeps telling me to watch that I always forget to watch. I can't remember the name of it. Like he's like a band teacher and he's like harassing this kid who plays the drums and making him bleed. Have you seen that shit?
No, man.
Like,
But you know, it just goes. We should sign a petition. We don't want this man on the farmers commercial.
I want him in the farmer's commercial because that's exactly what he is. He's fucking mayhem. I mean, think about Oz.
Yeah.
That's
No,
exactly
that's
what he
the other
is.
one. Farmers
Dude,
is
how-
the one that.
No, not
Farmers is
farmer.
the one that says,
You're talking about the other dude on far. Oh, they're
Oh,
both on there.
yes,
They're both doing
yes.
Oh
fucking
shit,
insurance
they're
commercials.
both on it.
yes, you have
Yeah,
One is
mayhem.
Allstate and one is Farmers. What's his name? TK somebody, right?
TK Rolling.
TK Rolling, and then you got the other dude on Allstate.
Mayhem.
Oh, TK
Yes,
Simmons.
that's right.
TK Simmons. My bad. I apologize to JK Rolling. Harry Potter gang. But no, it's JK Simmons. TK Simmons? JK Simmons?
TK or JK
Something
Simmons? One of those, yeah.
Yeah.
We
That guy-
know the two
Okay.
guys, yeah.
Knows a little because
The other two, oh shit.
They're both doing
All right,
insurance
maybe you
commercials.
will learn. Maybe you will learn something from this podcast.
Cover
that
your
we're
ass.
such
That's what you
fucking
gotta
nerds.
learn.
If
That
you're
we're
gonna get
such
car
fucking
insurance-
nerds.
And think of it. Car insurance, ass rape. That's all it is. That's the message that they're sending out to you.
I think pretty much.
You know,
That's fucking.
did you guys see the video of the high school couple that had a
Oh, the
bunch
racist shit?
the racist thing that they had they dropped the N-word in the middle of the sink and they said they can't black people can't act right, poured a bunch of water, and it said
This is
make
the
good choices and there was no water, loves watermelon and poured a bunch of water. Well, they got expelled from their school. Fired from work, and the girl actually started a GoFundMe and said that people has ruined her life and her boyfriend's life and their future, and she has the victim mentality for it.
Wait,
Now,
so if she was racist, I'm gonna guess she's probably conservative. And she's
Yes.
probably all against welfare and socialism and communism.
and
But she
GoFundMe
started
is
she started a
all of those.
GoFundMe.
Yeah,
She started a
yeah.
GoFundMe. Okay.
Blinders.
These fucking
Can we
people,
just
I don't get them.
Let's
It's
all take
hard.
let's
They're
all take a
undefinable.
second. Let's
It's hard.
all take a second and let's just let that irony sit there. Let's just take it in.
All that
you
irony.
fucking-
Ugh.
Find that shit. How do you even have a conversation with or about that?
You don't. You don't. Now, Steven, I got a question. I saw the thumbnail, right? I just didn't click it because I don't waste my time on that kind of shit. And I wanted to get back to Waco, right? Now, was it like the hard R? Like, is that what it? Oh,
It was a
okay.
hard
Well,
R.
yeah. No,
Whew.
oh no, then I'm out. Yeah, no, that's
It was a hard
Yeah.
R. It said not having a dad. They poured water. Eating watermelon and fried chicken. They pour water. Making
So all
good
the
choices.
rich-
There was no water. It was just all racist shit. And they got kicked out of school.
should
And,
have.
like, nobody wants anything to do with them. And she's making
That's
a
right.
post online crying that people have ruined her life.
Stupid
I don't-
bitch.
Your life is useless to begin with.
Yeah, we'll be all right without you.
Yeah.
Darwinism, bitch. Darwinism.
Yeah.
And
I mean-
but really, honestly, and this is just me as an outsider.
There we go. What was he about to say? When he goes really
Like
honestly,
Steve,
he's
like,
about to lie.
Steve,
I
I
got
look
my
at
When he
you,
goes-
not knowing you,
Before
and
we
I swear to
start.
God, I picture you in every one of those videos, right? Fucking the ginger, that shitty beard you got on, and I
Before
picture you
we-
in every one of those racist videos. Anytime a racist video comes up, I think Steven with that shitty beard and his shaved head all
Have you
day,
seen-
every day.
Have you seen my dad? I'm not racist. Have you seen my
No,
cousin?
your dad might be blacker than Ben. I don't know.
No, they're
Well,
the
who
same
knows?
brown.
Yeah. Well, it's about the same skin tone.
They're about the same. Yeah,
What
Yeah.
the fuck happened to you, dude?
my granddad
Really?
in Germany.
As soon as Jonathan goes, really honestly, some bullshit is about to spew out of his mouth.
Some bullshit.
Because hey
Is that
guys,
really bullshit? Look at Steven. Is it really bullshit though?
when you go,
I have-
all right guys, I gotta. You
I
go
have
really
my finger, my
honestly.
cursor over the red
Honestly,
hang-up
as an
button.
outsider, I gotta give you my opinion on this.
Your opinion means shit.
Looks
A
just
puddle
your
of
face.
shit. A
Just
puddle
think,
of
I'm
shit.
the John Jones and you're the Daniel Cormier. Yes, I am wild, but you're never gonna beat this. You're never gonna
That was
win.
a good one.
I'm just
Solid.
a
That
head
was
kick to the
solid.
face, bro.
Benjamin, wake the fuck up, dude. What the fuck was that? Trying to hide
Hey,
your
man,
fucking
listen,
yawn with your
You
with
like
your
that?
filter.
My
You just put that
windscreen?
shit up. We can hear that shit.
Yo.
You need to mute your mic, Benjamin.
Yo, shout out to the mask though, huh? Shout out to my COVID mask. First of all, yo, now you brought up UFC. What the fuck is going on, man?
I think we're canceled. I saw a post that said that he was canceling everything for the next couple of months. It's probably got a lot to do with Disney. If Disney's not
I saw a hell of a card that's stacked for May 9th, I want to say. But Amanda Nunes just pulled out due to injury or some shit, so who knows if that thing's going to happen. It's the one where...
Yeah. I'm just going to go out and say this. Because I seem to be the only person who feels this way. I don't want to watch Tony Ferguson and Justin Gaethje.
No,
I don't care.
I agree.
Okay, I agree.
I don't care.
No. All right, we're good.
I thought you were gonna be doing more. I thought you were gonna be licking Jones's ass some more. No, you're right. I agree.
Hey
With
man, listen. So I think his name is Jan Blanowicz. Is who John Jones wants to fight next. I don't
Nobody.
think that's right. I think John Jones got pieced up pretty nice against Dominic Reyes, and that should happen again. You want to solidify that win? I love. The problem is that John Jones always fucks it up.
Is a terrible person. It's
He's
very
a
hard.
terrible
He's
person.
very hard.
Phenomenal fucking fighter.
Garbage human
They've
being.
said it a million times. The only person who can beat
Shitty person.
is John Jones.
And he does it repeatedly.
I think that Dominic Reyes, I don't think he did enough to take the belt from him. But if it wasn't a championship fight, I think Dominic Reyes would have won. But that has to be a rematch. I don't think John Jones can run for much longer.
and this is our
you can't
sponsored John Jones ass kissing session, brought to you by Steven.
I'm not kissing his
I
ass.
apologize. Go ahead, keep going. I know you're gonna bring him back to kissing his ass and sticking your tongue way up in there.
He has to go to heavyweight.
Continue with your thought.
He has to go.
I feel
You got to start shitty first, and then you're gonna bring him. You're gonna bring him back up and put him on his pedestal.
He's got to bring it. But
No, it's not gonna end up like that. I promise. I think that either Dominic Reyes learned the biggest lesson or John Jones learned the biggest lesson. And whoever learned the biggest lesson from their last fight would be the winner of their next one.
You just said nothing whatsoever. Either one learned the biggest lesson or the other. You just said garbage. Nothing. We'll just throw away the last 15 seconds of what you just said. Your mouth and your face just said,
Downton Abbey, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Get your Downton
Nothing.
Abbey ass out of
You
here.
know what I think about you?
listen here, criminal minds. Listen here, criminal minds.
Criminal Minds is much better than what the fuck you just had to say about John Jones and
No, it's
Dominic
not.
Reyes.
No, it's not, son. Yo,
One of them
not.
learned the biggest lesson, or the other one learned the biggest lesson. Yeah, motherfucker, that's how life works. Somebody learned something. That's how shit works.
So, no, and what I mean by that is that one of them took that ass whooping and said, I'm going to definitely win this next fight. Because to me, it was a draw.
It's going to be Jones, though. I'm going to be honest. It's going to be Jones. Jones does not lose rematches. He actually performs better in every single one of his rematches. Yep. So then all you're left with is like, it should have just been Dominic Reyes. First of all, I wanted it to be Dominic Reyes for selfish reasons. Because I want John Jones at heavyweight. I'm tired of 205. I don't give a fuck. We've talked about it for months now. I don't give a fuck about a single matchup he has.
I want to see him in adversity.
At light heavyweight. What'd you say?
I want to see him face some adversity. I want to see him move up and weight.
Dude, I get it. There's no names. There's no names at 205. There's names.
He cleared them.
Yes.
But I think.
So why stay? Why stay?
I won't think any less of him. No one will.
I think wholeheartedly, if John Jones steps into heavyweight, he's fucking done he is not gonna DC it. DC was bigger, and I think he performed better at heavyweight than what John Jones can. You put John Jones against Stipe Miocic, and I guarantee you Stipe Miocic is gonna hit him one time and tear that face off.
Good. John Jones needs some real adversity because the motherfucker, he gets a handout at every time he fucks up. Hits a pregnant woman, breaks her arm, it's cool. Runs back and gets his drugs, nothing happens.
Let me get my
Fucking,
drugs back.
yeah, let me get my drugs back. Like dude, he needs some kind of comeuppance, and it might not happen, and that's fine. Like I get it.
You know who needs adversity? Khabib Nurmagomedov. Because
that's Tony Ferguson.
Habib.
Tony
You gotta pronounce his name right. Come on. Habib. You gotta throw that. Habib.
You gotta throw in the phlegm.
He fought
I think I'm gonna die
fucking
right now. I think I got the
Conor McGregor. He fought Conor McGregor, but let's be real. Let's be real. Conor McGregor is not as good as he says he is. Conor McGregor is a great fighter, but he's better at hyping himself than he is as a fighter.
Sport. He is great marketing material.
Of course.
Yeah.
He's not a bad fighter, but he's better marketing than fighter.
I never thought Conor McGregor was unbeatable. I've never thought that about him. He's just a normal person. So you beat Conor, great. Then you don't fight till Dustin Poirier.
Almost caught him too. He almost got caught.
Top 5, top 6. We're talking about top 3, bro. Top 3 should be the champ. Should never fight anybody who isn't top 3 unless he's already beat them. And he hasn't.
Poirier almost put him away.
Yeah.
That was
choke.
I gotta give Habib credit.
Racist.
I can't get enough. I can't get enough.
That is very racist.
I can't get
that
enough.
is very
hey,
racist.
I can't say his
that is
name
racist
right.
So watch my hands.
You do realize
Dagestan
can kill us all, right? Like,
it's not racist if you're Latino. I know I look a certain way, but let's get it right. And I know I got the I know I got the George Washington leaning fucking soldier sprayer behind me, which is like some old white dude from 300 years ago. But no.
Yeah, John, real quick though, it can be racist if you're Hispanic though, right? Like it can be, right?
No, it can never be. It can never be.
No, but it can though, right? But you do the hard R on this. Do the hard R on this podcast one time. Do the hard R on this podcast one time. See how quickly
but I never throw the hard R. Like that's racist. It's always A. It's always B. Even though I've never used it.
Not racist.
Listen. I was in Afghanistan. I can say, even though he's not from Afghanistan, I can throw it out.
Dagestan, you fuck. He's from Dagestan.
Hey, it's one of the stands, motherfucker.
One of my best friends some of my best friends are Muslim.
Was that racist? Nah.
Yes.
No, but I love fried chicken. You want to say that too?
No, but I love the fucking. Never mind.
Hold on. Don, I got something for you here. You need that?
You want a tiki torch, motherfucker?
Hold on. Damn.
Yo, we gotta wrap it up soon, B. I gotta wake up and go to bed. I gotta work tomorrow, man.
I don't want to see Gaethje and Ferguson. I want to see Conor and Gaethje, and I want to see Khabib and Ferguson.
For sure.
And I want to see Amanda Nunes fight anybody except Valentina Shevchenko.
Hey, Valentina Shevchenko legitimately beat her, right?
Yeah. I had her 3-2.
Is that why you don't want to see her fight? Because you don't want to see her possibly lose and everyone realize that Shevchenko's a motherfucking beast? That's what she is?
I don't want Shevchenko to lose. I don't want Shevchenko to lose because she's my queen.
She is.
The bullet.
Your queen. She's a beast.
Bullet.
And she might lose because Nunes is she's bigger. Naturally.
Which, real quick, because I know Ben's bedtime was 4.5 hours ago.
Yep.
It's 10:37, Benjamin.
I don't know why I follow Paige Van Sant on Instagram.
You know why you follow her. You know why.
Everybody knows why you follow Paige Van Sant,
Does your wife know that you follow
It's
Paige
not
Van
for her
Sant?
fighting skills, John. Steve.
Definitely,
it's not her fighting skills.
Does your wife know that you follow Paige Van Sant?
My wife knows everything about my life. So, Paige Van Sant.
I showed my wife the Paige Van Sant pictures. Can you believe this bitch? Look at her. Acting like she baked. Look at this bitch. Look at this. Look at this.
Is that how you play it off? Can you believe this? Oh shit! Can you believe this?
This is filth. So she made a post yesterday. She made a post yesterday where she's joining the team at Cameo, where you pay her $60 and she'll give you a shout out.
So she's
also OnlyFans. So
no,
she's
everybody
OnlyFans.
Everybody in the comments said that she should be doing an OnlyFans. She didn't respond to any of it. It's pretty much like, hey Ben, happy birthday from Paige Van Sant from the UFC. I hope you're having a great day, and that you pay her $60 for.
So she's the shittiest cam girl of all time.
Yeah,
is what she's become.
That and that she's exploiting people during the coronavirus who aren't even fucking working to pay her $60 to say your name on a video. No, thank you.
True. Facts.
But I mean, if you got people that are paying $60, they've got money to spare, right? Maybe. No, you're right. Maybe
probably not.
We don't have the brightest people.
Not MMA fans.
Gilbert Gottfried, is that his name? The parrot from Aladdin, Gilbert Gottfried.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, his is $150. I wouldn't pay $12.99 to have this motherfucker say my name.
What the fuck does he do? He just gives you a shout out?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Like so the way Cameo works, right? It's not just a shout out. Like you could have them say anything. Like you could pay the $150 or the $60 or whatever, and you could have them say like we could pay somebody that, and they'll do like the intro for our podcast.
Benjamin,
you know what I mean? Like,
listen to me. I will pay $1,000 for one of these motherfuckers to give you a fucking intro and a shout out to the podcast. Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
ain't nobody
that'd be crazy,
doing shit
right?
except staying at home and watching podcasts and fucking Netflix.
Yeah,
that's
true.
But it doesn't
it's
go
$1,000 well spent.
But not Gilbert. Paige Van Sant would be the better one.
Maybe Paige Van Sant.
Can you believe this filth? This is disgusting. I've never.
So she put out, but you know, like how people put like celebrities put out like a fake number that you get to text or whatever. That like, oh, text me, like I'm whatever, and it's like her. She did that, and I commented, I was like, you're about to get bombarded with dick pics. Like that's all you're like. If this is, and then like I had like I think I had like 387 likes and comments. Like, yeah, dude, this is what they do. Oh, look at this. Can you see that, John?
This is not Christian. And shout out to the dude's dick who's on her neck.
Yeah, her husband's, yo.
Whatever.
Shout out to the fact that he has a shirt that says...
You're terrible at knowing where the camera is in front of you.
I know. Yeah. So what?
Shout out to the fact
that... That's so what?
Shout out to the fact that they have a shirt that's called like a Mr. Van Sant. So he took her name, I guess.
Yeah, I would too. I mean, not that I would, but I'm just saying if I was him.
I mean, can you believe this filth? Can you believe it?
This is not Christian. I don't like it.
Somebody needs to sage this bitch. This is just inappropriate. This is just highly inappropriate.
I'm gonna look out, John. I'm gonna get back to you probably tomorrow and see who's on Cameo that's got a big enough name that we can start off the man chatter. Maybe you and I could pull some money in together, and we can get multiple people to do the intro.
I want John. Like, listen, if you guys can get John Krasinski or even not Zachary, don't. If you motherfuckers try to pawn off Zachary Levy on me, I know what John Krasinski actually looks like.
He was half the price.
I mean, Zachary Levy might have grown a fucking beard by now. You can't tell them apart.
He was half the price. John Krasinski was 200, and the other one was
John
100.
Zachary Levy's got less followers than we do.
Fucking John Krasinski has killed it with his new YouTube channel. Have you guys seen that shit? Some Good News. That shit, it's got like 4 episodes, and it's like
I only saw
14
one
minutes.
with Steve Carell. That he's got.
Yeah, that was
interviews.
the first one. Yeah. That's the first one. He's got like 4 episodes. It comes out every Monday, I think, or Sunday, on YouTube, and he's killing it, man. And where he it's called Some Good News, where he literally does it from his house. Yeah. And he focuses only on good news. It's actually really good, man. Highly, highly recommend it. That's some good shit.
Oh shit!
Steven, I can absolutely see the lesions like on your forehead and on your scalp. You might want to go get yourself checked out.
Forrest Griffin?
$45.
That dude is still alive?
You know that they
I thought
just
he had dementia by now, bro. I'm gonna be honest. Is that fucked
they
up?
just inducted him to
I've
the
seen
Hall
the
of Fame
fights he
for
was
his
in. I thought he was done. I didn't think he was
Yeah.
still breathing.
he does community he actually does community charity for underprivileged
UFC.
kids,
Yeah, he's a monster.
and that's all he does now. That's how he got inducted to the Hall of Fame on top of it, because of his philanthropist work.
Philanthropic,
He-
I think
he
is the
should-
word.
Philanthropic.
Philanthropic.
He should have been in the Hall of Fame
Philanthropic.
because of the fucking massacres that he was involved in. Those fights were
True.
Stephen
ridiculous.
Bonner, dude.
Him
Stephen
and Bonner, yeah.
That's what blew up the UFC, man. That fight. That was one of those fights. Like, yo, man, this is a crazy ass fight on Spike. You gotta watch this shit. This is a
Hold on,
crazy ass fight on Spike.
we got on
Did they both come through the Ultimate Fighter or just one?
Yeah, they both got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they both got it. Yo, I gotta take a piss real quick. I'll be right back.
So we got here on Cameo Forrest Griffin, Randy Couture, Johnny Walker, Paige Van Sant, Ken Shamrock, Vito Belfort. We're looking for some champions here. Tito Ortiz,
You haven't found any yet.
Frank Mir, Dominic Cruz. All right.
Hey, when the fuck did Cameo become a thing? Has it become a thing since the coronavirus?
Yeah, look who we got. The cringiest motherfucker in the game.
Henry Cejudo? Hey,
Yep.
that motherfucker's got a lot of followers. I'll
Yeah.
pay him $150.
Let's see how much he cost.
I
50
bet you-
bucks. 50
Really?
bucks. Yep.
And what the fuck is he gonna say? That look, he'll probably shit on the podcast. So who, knowing him, that piece of shit.
No, that fucking shrimp. I'll go beat his ass.
Good luck with that. Hell, he might be shorter than me, but I'm not gonna step to that motherfucker.
Yeah, I mean, maybe, 280, 300 bucks. We pull it together. I'll throw in $100 if we get 5-6 of these people to do it, and you just have them do it, and then we'll cut it. Thanks for joining in to the Man Chatter. This is Paige Van Sant from the UFC. I'm filthy and disgusting and perverse, but hey, here's the Man Chatter.
Is that wishful thinking on your part? Does your wife know about that yet?
Yeah, man. I already showed her. I was like, look at this filth, floor, and filth. Shout out to all the people who remember Eddie Murphy's stand-up. Filth,
Jesus.
floor, and filth.
Fucking Cosby. Great stand-up.
Is he alive?
Cosby, he's in Oz somewhere. He's getting raped by TK Rawlings or whatever that dude's name is.
Yeah,
The equivalent in prison.
the equivalent. He's probably already got the swastika on his ass, and it's like, it just goes too far, man. Oz was a great show. Shit, I can't even talk about that show enough.
I
It
can't
was like-
believe that I fucking put like 18 SVUs, Law and Orders, before I talked about Oz.
I've never seen. So I've watched a couple of them. I don't know. I don't like watching people getting killed all the time. Like, to me, I try to keep in my mind that the world is a better place than what it really is.
But it is.
And to
We're
me,
shooting
like,
people.
if I see too much shit about murdering people, I feel like shit.
That's what,
I'm like, there couldn't be
you grew up in
57
Miami. Wait, where in Miami did you grow up in again? Tell me.
Carroll City.
You grew up in Miami, in Carroll City. We're pieces of shit. I mean, not pieces of shit. Sometimes we're just put in shitty situations also. And
True.
shit happens. Like, people aren't horrible, but sometimes the situations kind of dictate what happens. And
Do you have a giant house like this guy where he has to walk 2 miles to go to the bathroom?
what is it?
I said, do you have a giant house like Ben where you have to walk 2 miles to go to the bathroom?
I'm fortunate to have a nice house, but I think Benjamin probably stopped at the refrigerator. And then after that, he stopped at the counter because there was some pound cake. And then
Yeah,
2 feet
definitely.
over next to the pound cake, there was probably some chocolate chip cookies. And then he opened up the pantry. He'll be back in about 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And then he'll be like, oh shit, I forgot to go to the bathroom.
Yeah. He's going to be holding it, and he's like, all right, guys, I got to go to sleep. Oh, shit, there he is. Look at the pound cake on his lip.
You made it back. Hey, you got some fucking cookie crumbs on your beard. You might want to clean yourself up.
First of all, there was no cookie crumbs. I made some beef stew in the crock pot.
You
I had
called
some
it.
beef stew in the crock pot, so I had to get that
I
right.
told you that
He
shit.
said you stopped at the kitchen.
Of course, I stopped in the kitchen, man. You think you get this size by walking through it?
Hey, did you
Fuck outta
remember
here.
to go to the bathroom, dude?
No, I did, and I wash my hands twice. Yo, I say the ABCs when I do it too. Still, it's the habit. 20 seconds.
Ben, there's Henry Cejudo in this.
No.
There's
No.
Dominic
Give
Cruz,
us a shout out.
Frank Mir, Tito Ortiz.
Nope. Too much brain trauma.
I mean, Ken
Last
Shamrock,
pass.
Paige Van.
Can you search? Can you search for John Krasinski? If you give me John Krasinski, I'm with it.
Is his name with an H?
John. Yeah.
No. Closest you got is John Kazir.
I don't even know who the fuck
He
that
is
is.
he is the actor from the Tales from the Crypt Keeper in HBO Tales.
Ah,
Oh, shit.
that's
Got
crazy.
Got Randy Couture over here.
No, nobody. Only the diehards will know who that is.
Randy
What about Brendan Schaub? Brendan Shaw's my guy. Hey, Steve, do you guys have bikes up there?
Yo,
Where'd
we
what?
got Mike Sorrentino, the situation from Jersey Shore, out here doing shout outs for $300 like he's fucking
45
relevant.
cents.
$300.
Fuck out of here, bro.
Who the fuck? Oh shit! Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful from Shark Tank, is $1,200.
That's insane, bro.
$1,200.
You're fucking crazy.
That's fucking crazy,
What's
bro.
that guy? Fuck.
What about Zachary Levy?
We gotta go for second best.
Oh, we're fucking dicks, bro. This guy's made movies and had a successful TV show, and we're shitting on him as the discount John Krasinski.
Jesus.
How fucked
The
up are we?
Equate version.
It's terrible.
The fucking
Hey,
wall drill version.
He
Who does
didn't
the
make the
MMA
cut.
show?
He's not on there?
What I forget his name. Who does the MMA show?
Hawani?
Ariel Hawani. Now, if we do it, you got to get Luke Thomas, bro. Luke Thomas is the motherfucking man. Best MMA reporter in the game. He's not going to do that shit, bro. That guy's a badass.
I thought
He's
the
on
Schmo
time.
was the best one.
Nah,
Wait.
Ariel Hawani's too emotional for me.
Yeah. What's the Equate version of John Krasinski?
The Equate version? Oh, shit.
What's his name?
Zachary Levy.
Oh, we got Holly Holm over here for $100.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Karate Hottie? What about Michelle Watterson?
Oh, I love her. No. Oh wait, Zachary Levy, $350.
Nah, no. John,
Yep.
you're rich. You got that?
Who?
I am?
John Vallejo.
Am I rich?
Pretty
I'm
up there.
actually trying. You know what I was trying to do right now? I was trying to fight TK Simmons since we were talking about fucking Law and Order and Oz. I'm like, let me see if this dude is on Cameo.
There we go. We got Michelle Watterson over here for $75.
Oh yeah, we can do $75.
We could do three.
Well, I don't know what this we shit is. You could do $75.
All right,
Man,
John, you send me the script of what you want the intro to say, and I'll pay the $75 for the Karate Hottie.
That would be insane, bro.
Send me the.
How does it work? How does it work though? Can you download it and save it?
Yes. So what happens is this one says that she typically responds in 5 days. So this is the video. You pretty much just send it. She shouts you out, and we can start the podcast with it.
but she shouts you out what? Does she put it on her social media too? Like,
No.
or is it just a fucking video she records?
It's a
I
video.
think we need that shit to be out on social media, like,
Yeah.
so that her followers can link to us.
Yeah.
Look,
Hey Jason, it's Michelle Watterson, the Karate Hottie, and I received a very special request from your friend Ken to say thank you so much and that they appreciate you for being such a wonderful friend.
it's just a shout out. Like if you could
That
just
does
put
nothing. That does nothing for the show. She needs to be tagging us. We need followers to be like funneled from her to us. Other than that, we're just gonna put it up on fucking Facebook and Instagram and YouTube and then adding her saying, hey, shout out from
Yeah.
this chick that can't fight right now, so she's selling herself for $75.
So-
That's a terrible.
so here's the
If she was to listen to the podcast, she just didn't want to do the cameo,
But
right?
she's gonna do it
With
anyway.
that
I'm
little.
just saying.
So here's the thing.
That's how it works. That's how it
As-
is.
You've had too much. John,
As
you've had too
long
much.
as you're on this podcast,
It's
Watch
okay.
yourself.
We'll just go to Patreon's on now. It's okay.
nobody's
We'll just go to the
ever
next
gonna
one.
watch this. We went.
You're
Ben
right.
went from 750 viewers for every video down to 32. And that's because you're playing it 30 times, and we can't forget, shout out to my aunt Katia, who's the greatest living fucking woman of all time.
Shout out to my mama.
Greatest. When she says she loves her sons, I know she's talking about me and not her biological children.
Or me, and not about Benjamin. Myself and Joshua for sure.
I love how all the white people are taking credit for my mom's love. You
I
fucking
mean, we're
socialist.
closer to her skin tone than you are. I'm just saying.
There's a good chance I'm adopted. I know.
Absolutely.
The
No,
Steven
good.
story of my birth is one of the greatest stories ever
It's very
told.
compelling
Why
story.
hasn't she told you yet? She will tell you. The real story is the one that Steven told when he was on a podcast.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Her backstory.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah. That's why she still blames me. Now, real quick though, random off topic, but back to the cameo thing. Paige VanZant should be more expensive than Michelle Waterson, though, right? If we're being honest, like
Waterson's a better fighter. Paige VanZant was put the UFC more on the map than the Karate Hottie.
Paige
Well,
VanZant
like that- she should not be $15 cheaper, right? Like we should be like, if not the same, like 75 and 80. Right? Like if we're rate,
pay for Michelle Waterson because I think that Michelle Waterson is way cooler than Paige VanZant.
5 years
100%.
ago, 5 years ago, I would have said yeah, Paige VanZant for sure because she was like the marketing. She was the face, right? Before
Yeah.
Ronda Rousey and all that stuff. But now, even though Michelle
Michelle
Waterson isn't whatever, she's worth more than Paige VanZant.
Yeah, she's worth. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like the comedians who are doing this are pretty slim too. Oh shit, Michael Rappaport for $175.
That's
He's
a
got
funny
lot of
motherfucker,
anger.
bro.
He's got to have a lot of people following him because he's an angry white dude for sure. There's got to be a
Yeah.
lot of people.
Well, listen, if you go to Cameo, right? You go to Cameo, all right?
I'm on it.
So you go to Cameo, you click on the person, it's gonna show you the last person that they did a video with right there. It's gonna show you all their latest videos that they shouted out people. So you might get 5 or 6 people that actually watch it and hear the shout out. I don't know, but like I said, as long as you're on this podcast, we're probably not gonna fly to the moon or anything like that.
Until they got to come on the show. That's why I'll do random shit. Like I want. You know who I would love to have on this podcast? Joe Coy.
Yep, I was.
That's the funniest motherfucker. Man.
Listen, man, I'm gonna work on it. I'm gonna start sending out
I
some.
would be pushing his stop boat for sure. I'd be doing all the marketing for his fucking ass.
I would. If he ever came on this show, we both get a fucking tabo, hold it up, and then have a tabo T-shirt. You know what I mean? Like this shit would be.
He's selling that shit on his website, for real.
Yeah, as he should, bro. Man is a genius.
Especially
Listen,
these
Funniest
times.
one of
I'm gonna see how we can get some faces over here on the podcast. Like, I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna spend my whole day tomorrow doing this shit.
you have nothing else to do besides raising 3 kids that are homeschooled.
Hey, the truth is, we need to be talking to El Tiburon.
Yeah.
El
Yeah,
Tiburon.
we have
You know
a
what El Tiburon
friend
is?
that we went to high school. We have this friend that we went to high school with. I forget his name. His name's Danny again.
Maybe
he
he was
on
my
the show.
friend and
He
not
was on
yours,
the
since you can't remember his fucking name, Benjamin.
Yeah,
I go, bro. I just call him Tiburon. Does it really matter anymore? It's Tiburon, bro. So he was on the same show that George Masvidal was on. I think it was like Univision Telemundo. It was kind of like a Spanish Survivor
He
mixed
was on
with
the
like
same
American
show
Ninja.
that, what's his name was on in the same
Bitch, I
season.
just said that.
No, not
Masvidal.
Masvidal. Masvidal was the season
But
before, but he was on with Romero. Same season.
Oh,
They competed
word?
against each other. Yeah. Romero was on the show.
I did not know Romero was on that show.
Yeah.
That's
And
terrifying.
they were on the same season. Yeah, they competed against each other.
Is this the part that's gonna get cut off before, like, when you post it? Because it's just a lot of bullshit that we're talking.
No,
Hey,
but he has a
Steve,
huge following,
Steve,
bro.
I can still hear you because you're on Skype, but I took you off the podcast because you're useless at this point.
I was gonna press the red button, but I don't want to be disrespectful to my cousin.
Yeah. But yeah, man, he's a monster, bro. That guy was on the crazy guy, and he had a huge following from that shit. We've been trying to get him on, but I don't want him to come on and want to start talking politics and small businesses and fucking conservatism and what it's like being a Cuban conservative in Miami. Ugh.
No, man, I'm gonna try to get.
He and I had that talk when I went to visit Florida. I'll apologize, Steven, but really I don't apologize because I matter more than you do. Yeah, we had that talk when I went to Florida a few months ago. So I mean, when we bring him on the show, it's gonna be all just just fun and games, just kind of keep it light, and maybe we'll get into politics, but nothing too crazy because it could definitely go that way if we let it. If we let it and get out of hand.
No, absolutely, especially with a Cuban, bro. Especially with a Cuban. You've seen how it goes down on my Facebook.
You're right, Steven. You're allowed to speak now. You were saying?
I got work to do, bro. I'm gonna get Masvidal on the show. I gotta go.
Hey, fuck it. If you get Masvidal on the show, I quit. You take over. I'm done.
I don't know how to stop again, motherfucker. So you gotta stay.
We need you on the show.
Yeah, you're the necessary aids.
Now I'll become fucking young Jamie. Is what happens. I'll just be behind the camera. You won't ever see me again.
But you're the oldest person on this. John, you can't be young Jamie when you're the oldest person on the podcast.
How is it crazy that I'm the oldest person, but I look better than both of you fucks?
Because you have the smallest dick.
Really? That's the best he can come up with? That's the best he can come up with. I'm the youngest, so I gotta have the smallest dick. Look at this hair. Look at this hair.
Hey, real quick, John.
This hair is so good that Benjamin was like, is it blow dried? I'm like, no, dude. I just wake up this way.
I told you not to have kind of people on the podcast.
John, real quick though, one more time for the people, man. Show the people where your real height. Just go ahead.
And show people the real height.
I'm
while
sitting
saying
down right now.
Nurmagomedov.
I'm sitting.
No, yeah.
Hey, it's fun. It's funny that you say I'm gonna say it because if you ever try to say his real name, it would definitely be racist, for sure. But look, it's gonna be simultaneous. You ready?
I say it like a Latino.
Habib.
Look how he just fades off into the distance. Bro, figure out what the camera is, John. Oh, my bad. Steven, bring your fucking phone up, bro. You can't see that.
We can't.
Can you see that?
There. What? Is he
telling
me to wrap it up? Is he telling me to wrap it
up? Wrap it up, B. All right, motherfuckers. We got to do this again soon, man. Steven, we might have you as our weekly Wednesday, because Wednesday guest. We'll see how it goes. Definitely gotta. I'm glad you have brighter light this time when we can actually see you.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, that light's fucking bright. It's like
bright as shit.
Look, man.
Yeah.
I got this for backup just in case.
I'm glad your wife allowed you to have more light and gave you some freedom to step outside the basement.
She had you at the bottom.
Listen.
John, aren't you in the basement of your house? What the fuck are you talking about?
If I didn't trust that this wasn't all fun and games, John, I would never tell you this, but because I know that we're just having a good time. The reason why this is a very well-lit area is that, as you can tell, this is her section of the home where she has beautiful plants and everything is done real nice.
Yeah.
That's where the lighting is. All the flowers. I got a blueberry bush right behind this fucking laptop. I got a blueberry bush. I got a papaya tree. I got fucking red flowers. I got a Groot. I got tiki torches. I got fucking lavender.
Don't knock that Groot over the balcony. Careful with Groot and her little lavender thing, because Heidi will kill you. I know your wife she already takes up 98% of the counter in your house, so
yeah,
make sure you
98% of my life.
For real, bro. Hey,
right.
John, man, I know we always give you a hard time, bro. We appreciate you. Doing all that you do, the hard work on the podcast, man, from your end, because the thing behind the scenes that people don't see is you worked on this shit for like an hour and 15 minutes trying to figure it out, man. So I appreciate you, but as always, you're short, and that's it, man. That's really all I had. 'Cause honestly, what else is there? No, seriously though, you do. Let's be honest. Like John wraps his hair at night, right? Like when he goes to bed.
He's got the white man's do-rag. Got the little Velcro front.
You know what's funny? You know what's
royal.
crazy is that I have
He's got a little
comeback.
arroyo, right? The little yellow one.
Just one.
I don't have a comeback. I don't have a comeback for that. I don't.
That was a good one, right? That was a good one.
It's nice hair.
Ironically enough, I'm getting shit from two bald men about my hair. Two dudes that can't grow hair with their life. We got Steven, who's a racist redhead with a patchy ass beard, talking shit about how wonderful my hair is.
You should let it grow, bro. Have you ever thought about just letting it go? Have you ever thought about just letting it go?
Who, me?
Nah, bro, we're bald as fuck.
That is Steven letting it go. That is him. That's it.
Yeah, mine looks very identical.
You saw him turn around earlier.
Yeah. So, John, you ever thought about just letting it grow like straight on, like fucking, like Brad Pitt and
I had it back.
What's that? No, I'm saying like you should just let it go. Yeah, just let it slick back all the way.
Have his hair longer than him? That's not gonna look good.
You know how fucked that would be if he got to like drop his hair and like roll it up in a bun? Never fucking do that on this show.
The Latino Fabio. I'm gonna be like, hold on, let me take these toothpicks out of this motherfucker.
He's gonna be like,
motherfucker be like, hold on, guys, hold on. All right, what's going on?
Put the bun on, the Colombian one.
Oh, fuck. It's always a good time, motherfucker.
I mean, look, Masvidal's got the long hair. I'm gonna pull a Masvidal. I'm gonna let it grow about that long.
Yeah, no, but Masvidal can beat all our asses. Yeah, that's street Jesus. What? Don't just compare yourself. All right,
I'm about to hang up. Let's just hang up. This is
motherfucker. Like we'll let a lot of comparisons go, but don't. 2% of soda is the shit now. Watch yourself.
As far as since we're talking about Habib. In the words of
Habib.
This, what you say, this
don't be disrespectful.
Bullshit.
Don't be disrespectful. His name is
Send location. Send location.
Send location. This number one bullshit.
Number one, and I'm racist. I was just saying his name correctly. You motherfucker.
Have you never seen the video? Have you never seen the video of Khabib being asked about Conor and all that shit?
Absolutely.
And like the bureaucracy of the UFC, and he's like,
you have to make fun of his accent.
This is number one bullshit.
Yeah, that guy's scary. That guy is fucking terrifying.
Fuck
he says it with like nothing behind. He's the Carol Baskin of Dagestan. That motherfucker says it with nothing, no emotion behind his eyes. All right, bitches.
Gentlemen.
Guys, thank you so much for listening. If you listen, thank you for being on the show, Steve. John, end this bitch. We out.